Hi and welcome to the first ever ALARA Prime community tournament. My name is Joachim, I'll be the host for the evening. With me I got Sebastian Seb K, and the match is starting any minute now, so quick introduction before we jump into the game.
Yeah, hey, I'm Seb, I'm one of the developers on ALARA, here to offer some support. I'm very excited to see what the teams have in store for us today.
Yeah, and we're actually just gonna jump straight into the game because the game started, we will be starting on time, so let's jump into the game and follow the action. So to go through the different three teams, we have Team Devour, who's going to be playing on the red side. We have Team Influence playing on the yellow side, yellow team, and then Team Koala playing as the blue team. And we're going to be starting off with the yellow team here, CK, Koala starting things off at defense. So what can we expect here, Seb?
It looks like they are just holding side here, setting up some walls using their utility. It'll be looks like a solid defense here to start off with.
Yeah, and we can see the Devour here, red team, moving up together, clearing corner by corner. We can also see here a little solo play here from Ski7 here, lurking around with his teammates, playing very cautiously and careful here. So we're going to be following Kansi here, is holding the angle, should be expecting some kind of action, breaking through the wall there. We hear shots being traded here. Kansi can't get the shots. This is alerting the blue teamer as well that they're circling around. And they were the first fight. Shara taking out Kansi here. We see Neyman if he can return the favor. Spots one player, takes some damage, getting wallbang from behind. So he's in a very peculiar situation here. Not looking good for the defensive team. And we got a bit of a boost here going on. So that's interesting play. Shoots the mirror images so they're aware of their position now. And he's getting fragged. Unfortunately, it's a good job by the defending team. And they're throwing the nades, and we can see that a push from everywhere. Meanwhile, the red team is going very slowly. They're very happy that the blue and yellow team are trading off. So red team and Devour here slowly inching in. And it's all up to Tesserin and Neyman. And now it's all up to Tesserin here in the defense. Can only get one, that the blue team gets the uplink, but it's still looking very good for Devour here in the red team. 2 versus 2 situation here. Uplink with 19 seconds to go, so it looks really good for the defenders though, even though it's in a 1 versus 2 here. Gets the first 1 versus 1 now, with 8 seconds left on the uplink. Goes into the smoke. Devour get it. Will he have time? Yes, he will. So
very nice smoke cap.
Yeah, very, very nice play there with baiting out with the smoke thing. So he thought he went for the capturing. And we have the first point on the board for Team Devour here. And it was Kiwi there and Shara who made it happen for that team. So what did we see there in the one-on-one? What did you think about that play?
I was very good. Fake tapping the uplink there and then pushing out the smoke to catch the opponent off guard. Or
yeah, and it was all up to Ski there. So he's the sole warrior there on the team Influence on the blue side. And now they're gonna be defending now. So we're gonna follow the way we ended with a defense from Influence here on the blue side. And on this map that we're playing, which is your... Do you like to defend, attack, from what side?
I like defending the upper side, but I think both sides are definitely fun. But the upper side has a lot of cool options you can do.
Yeah, and we see that they're inching here, Devour here. Meanwhile, it's basically a 1 versus 1. And they're capturing the uplink there, so that's a good move by them. And meanwhile, we have Koala just chilling on the other side of the map, so... Now we're technically not playing ALARA, who have one team chilling, but now they're gonna make their way in there. Neyman leading the shot share. Gets the first flag on Kiwi. Traded. But so can Kansi. Trades back, so an advantage here in these trades. But time's ticking very fast now. 10 seconds left on the uplink. And here we have Influence taking it. And now it's Influence all the way. Controlling and defending, and they're back on the defense from the offense. So They should be able to take this round. 3 versus 1. It's just a matter of time, and they do it. Influence are now on the board. And we highlighted that Ski 7 was the sole warrior, and now when they work more as a team, they managed to get the uplink and get the first round on the board. And you said you liked defending on the top side, or defending the uplink on the upper side. Do you think it favors the defensive team here, or attacking team, or what do you think on this map so far?
We'll see. We'll see what I'm sure these teams are going to surprise us. I think definitely seen some defenders be strong on this map, but you know, we'll see. These players definitely higher caliber, I think, than me personally.
Yeah. So this is the first ever tournament, of course. So we're gonna have see how the meta will play out, actually, because we haven't done too many tournaments. We haven't done a tournament at all, actually. So, but these players have been playing a lot of hours and probably have developed some strategies here, and we'll see how the meta is gonna. This is the first ever meta, you can say, inside ALARA Prime.
Deploying recon camera.
Slowly inching forward with the recon camera. And something we've seen throughout all matches is that they start off pretty slow, inching the forward, taking corner by corner, and waiting almost for the other team to do something. Placing the drill camera. Going down, shaking through the wall, spotting players here, so they're not aware that they are aware, so to say. So getting very good information there. Let's see how we can rally to his teammate. Meanwhile, we have Koala here, who hasn't got on the board yet. So they need to start getting rounds in. They've been fragging pretty hard, but it feels like they started off and then just fall off. So they need to maybe slow down a bit. And that's kind of what they're doing. Following Krutio Peak. I'm gonna try to not botch the pronunciation of the names. I have a name on there on the high ground there, but it's gonna be a trading here all around. Teams trading back from Ski 1, a player we highlighted before. Fringer though, 1 versus 1 now, so, and now it's a pure 1-on-1. It's gonna be Devouring Kiwi that takes the round in the end, and the cycle has gone to Devour here, who's coming into the tournament. We had an idea that they were going to be one of the stronger teams, or I got from our community manager Austin highlighted. Do you recognize any of these players, and if so, who and why? You could say.
I recognize some of the names definitely, but yeah, that was very well played around that round. They had a really good setup with the cameras, pretty much every opening they had covered, so they had a lot of really good info there. So that was very cool to see. Yeah,
and it's really Devour here that's leading the way. Now they're going to be defending on the southern side. So what separates those uplink sides, you could say, between each other?
Defend the uplink.
As a defender.
As a defender, yeah, you've got a lot of more. You can control the bridge differently on both sides, and yeah, it's definitely some interesting different setups here from the different teams.
Yeah, and we're gonna have Tester in here. It's gonna be greeted by Finger and Ski 1. So let's see if they can get trade kill. Meanwhile, things are moving slowly up on the northern side. And that's kind of been the name of the game for Devour. They play very slow in the start and then really explode when they're attacking the uplink. And because they're such in a lead, it's actually Lasky here who starts things off, getting the frag on one of the Devour players. Also hurting IDK there very much. And Kiwi getting spanked through the wall there. So you see the players are... And here we have a bit of a cloak move here. Spot someone, pings, can see there on the high ground, but can't see him. So you can't get a clear shot of him. But we have a bit of a cool lurk here from Sign Weaver. But they seem to be somewhat aware of it. And it's Tester in there on the other side of the map who's picking up the frag on Fringer. Kiwi responding. It's getting shot from the wall behind. It's 31 HP. Making his presence known here. And meanwhile this is happening, the uplink is going down to sub 30 seconds now, so
30 seconds.
the attacking teams, Devour and Influence, needs to get on that uplink soon. And they throw out the smoke grenade here, and
15.
here we have Tester in here, spots a player, uses the camera to highlight for his team where they are. But meanwhile, it's only 5 seconds left, so we're gonna see if they can jump on the uplink. They need to do it, otherwise they're just gonna lose the round there and there.
The
So,
other team's on the round.
all of a sudden, like without dying or going for it, they lose the uplink there and defend uplink, I should say. Call Koala there. Why do you think that
Both
happened? No
attackers-
one went for it? That sounded a bit
both
odd. Looked
attackers
a bit
were
odd to
very
me.
passive there. Yeah, definitely. And then at the end there, they tried to shoot a hacking dart, which is the secondary fire on the parasite rifle. But the defenders had an anti-jammed the uplink, so it couldn't be hacked. So unfortunately, that didn't work. So yeah, two teams just played very passively.
Yeah, and for people who are new, can you talk about that mechanic for that weapon, that what's it, anti-hack, and it's like
yes.
a leveling game almost.
Yeah, so it's quite a complicated, a very in-depth feature. So this weapon has a secondary feature that shoots out a hacking dart that sort of can take over gadgets of the opponent and sort of turn them to your side, and the different interactions between what you shoot and what you hit.
Yeah, so you can capture the uplink with the secondary hit, and then you can anti-jam that, I guess, with with a bit of like a more advanced mechanic of the game that the news player might not be aware of, even.
Yeah, you can basically block the secondary from working.
Yeah, and here we have the Call Koala here, who managed to win as the defender now. Going together, playing it slow, and that seems to be like the name of the game now. You kind of want the other team to do the work for you, in a way, as the attacker. And as a defender, it feels like you need to more, just wait and see who makes the first move. And here we have again Sweener here controlling the uplink, and his Shara and his teammate Lucero and IDK are slowly moving in. They're gonna throw a smoke grenade there on the uplink, and that might trigger them. And it's Kiwi actually on the other side of the map. Getting some action here with crew pick falling, and it's very good for the Call Koala team in a way, because if Influence and Devour just trades, it should favor them in the end. But 40 seconds left in the uplink. Shara in a very tight angle here, getting killed by Lasky, and we have Swineweaver 30 seconds shooting on the uplink there. While Thringer is... Oh, okay, so we have a really pretty interesting... They have a camera behind to know if they need to wall bang the uplink. So here we can see Thringer making sure that no one is capturing it, while we have Signweaver who's controlling it. And see with the smoke grenade coming down, and Lasky is gonna go on the uplink. And they control the uplink now, so it's very good for Call Koala here. Trading and getting the frags. And while this is happening now, we're studying a one-on-one. IDK versus Ski 7. And it's Devour that controls the uplink
15.
after that hectic situation. IDK just waiting for him to... Oh! And he gets spotted. Running away, just playing the time. That's very smart. 4 seconds, that means the Ski needs to go on uplink. And all of a sudden, I don't know how that happened, I'll ask you later, but now Call Koala has the uplink. Without even being alive, so that's...
15.
interesting. And it's gonna, in the end, it's gonna be Influence who gets the win as the defensive team there. So good job there by Ski 7. And can you explain how could Call Koala take the uplink without being alive? Because I haven't seen that before.
Yeah, we alluded that a little bit before. So what happened there was that the Devour team had captured the uplink via the hacking dart that we just mentioned. And the way that works is it is captured as long as the hacking dart is on it. So you can just shoot that off and it'll be returned to the state that it was before it was captured with it. So what happened there was Team CK shot the hacking dart off the uplink, and that returned it to the other state.
Yeah, so that's in theory they could have won it without being alive. I guess.
Yeah, definitely.
If there was like a frag grenade killing both players, and that would have been a very interesting, interesting interaction. Oh, that's very cool. Shara there with a spawn nade. So that's a little trick he's been practicing leading up to the tournament. Oh, we haven't seen that too much, and that's something that they need to respect now. And that's... We call them gates, the spawn gates. And if you know the lineup nades, you can actually anticipate where they're gonna spawn out. So that's a... Have you seen that before?
Actually, yeah, that's a very impressive lineup there.
Yeah, and that means that from now on they're gonna be respecting this. So we can see here that here is where he died, just from the spawn gates. A well-timed grenade there, starting things off. And that should make Koala a bit scared coming up to the upcoming rounds, where they can't really feel safe starting off the match. Yeah, that's a very cool trick there from Shara. As the defending team. So we see that the teams have been practicing different little tricks here and there. And I see that once we get down to the crunch situation, we're going to be seeing more and more of that, I think. The little tricks that we've practiced leading up to the tournament. And Lasky here, Kansi getting out Kiwi there. So revenge for his fallen comrade who died in the start of the round.
15.
And here we have Lasky and Signweaver. Oh, Koala just falling at pieces, and it's all left to Kansi. Gets the one, gets the second, can't get the third. In the meanwhile, it's so good for the Devour. They just need to stay alive. And we have the uplink capture from Krutiopek. Oh, we can't do it. Devour wins the round, and they are now on match point. Yeah, so good job by Devour, and we have tiebreaker. Can you explain how the tiebreaker work for the people at home?
Yes, so now since each team has a round in the cycle, the team with the highest uptime out of all of them gets to choose who's defending for the final round of the cycle here.
Yeah, and it's gonna be Devour here, choosing to defend there. So I'm actually gonna be following Shara here in the start, because he had that cool nade trick, and now it might be team influence that I'm not aware of that. So we'll see here. He's lining up his nade. It's a fog wall, but we'll see if he line up a nade. Yeah, it looks like he's gonna just setting up the different gadgets. Do you call it gadgets? Oh, here's a nade lineup that I would like to see you use, Seb, when we do the next playtest. Maybe to do to one of you. Yeah, steal this one. So we'll see this lineup and see if it's gonna pay off. So we see him throwing the nade.
Intercept the uplink transmission.
Without hitting, so you can see Signweaver looking like, what happened there? So they are aware of that little trick now, and actually they're gonna be Team Influence and Koala gonna be going by each other, and a very offensive move here by Koala. And being that Devour are on match point, how should Koala and Influence play this out?
I imagine both the attackers have, obviously their greatest interest now is taking down Team Devour, who is just on the cusp of winning here. So I'm sure we'll see some aggression here.
Yeah, and we're following IDK here, killing Neymond. So Devour have lost one player, and it's Koala is trading. And this could be very good for Team Influence, who's now, it almost feels like Koala says, Team Influence, go! We've done some damage to Devour. It's your turn to do something. So, but Ski taking out Kansi. Spots, now it's just a pure one-on-one versus Team Influence versus Devour. 3 members left of Devour. We have 2 left of Devour. We got Kiwi here with the sniper rifle. Misses a shot. And it's now 1 versus 4. It's gonna be very tricky for him. Gets the person who takes down the uplink, and it's gonna be Influence who captures the uplink and wins. The cycle goes to them. So, is there a theory where Influencer doesn't want to kill Koala there now when we had the Devour on match point?
Yeah, that's definitely a move, but it seemed like they were feeling their aim. They were feeling confident, so might as well guarantee.
Yeah, in a way, it was too good to be true, where both players were with the backs turned there, and now that means that Devour has lost their match point. Can you explain how that works? They were on match point, now they no longer are on match point. How does that dynamic work?
Yeah, so the first person, or the first team rather, to 2 cycles wins. So now the other team got a cycle, so the rounds reset. So on the new cycle here, now Devour would need to win 2 more rounds in order to win, for example.
And it also means that Koala needs to win 3 rounds even. So they lost a point there in this tiebreaker in the first game. So best of 1. meaning that it's do or die here. And in the final later we'll have a best of 3, so we'll see how that plays out with the different maps. Do you have a favorite between Oasis and Reactor as the map?
I think I actually really like both. It's sort of cop-out dev answer, but I think both maps are fun, for sure.
Very good answer. All your colleagues will be very happy.
Yeah, I don't want to begin
both maps are
company,
good.
Yeah.
Speaking of maps, they're moving their way throughout the map here. It's still Koala on the defense, and they haven't done anything. And letting the Devour and Influence work against each other, and they're just above each other. Here we have Koala making their move. Gonna be greeted by Influence here with 4 players alive. Devour here spots the player, sends out the Mimic. Flashing out. It's probably gonna push after this. 2 blind players. Nice job by Lucero. No, can't get the frag. Take out the pistol. Gets the frag. Good job by Lucero there with the 2 flashbangs. And that's very good for Influence now. So we gotta be aware of the meta part of this game, where Influence is just chilling, and sometimes that's the best thing to do. Namond can't get the frag, and all of a sudden we have Lucero in a 1 versus 4. Gets the first. Gets the second. He knows the players captured uplink. Spots him, can't get the frag. Ooh, good effort there by Lucero, but can't get the win. Team Influence wins the round, and now they are on match point as the defensive team. Yeah, how should they play this? As we talked about how the attacking team should play, but how should they play now when they're match point?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see here. I imagine they're gonna probably just turtle up here, but yeah, I imagine, if I would guess, Koala here would probably play pretty passively, because I mean they're looking to win here, so hopefully I'm assuming they would guess that the Devour team is gonna push, you know, and try and take the match point here.
Yeah. It's
defend the uplink transmission.
very this meta idea of the players and how they play on the macro strategy is an important part of this game, so that you don't maybe see in other FPS games where, because we're playing 3 teams playing each other at the same time. And here we have Signweaver hearing the Devour team making a very fast progress here to uplink. So they're picking up the Mimic here, is gonna probably send it out. Yeah, and we have Fringer here and Signweaver posting up the defense, and Koala is just chilling, as you said. So they know that the Devour are going to be more eager to capture the uplink. So we can hear that's being taken by Shara, who's gonna pay for his life, but they get the uplink though, so that means that Koala is gonna probably make a move now when they hear that the uplink has been taken. They also have shots, so Testrin starting things off there very well. He seemed to be the Enterfrag that's running in there. IDK himself, and I think this favors Koala's Influence. Take back the uplink spam. Nice spam through the smoke there. And now they have a lot of time to work with, so they don't need to rush this capturing. And they know that someone's up there on the high ground, and it's gonna be Krutio Peeker. Gets the first frag. 1 versus 2 now. He knows that if he jumps down there, it's gonna be very hard for him to have an accuracy with his nades. So 19 seconds to go. 1 versus 2.
15.
Doesn't have any nades left. Jumps down. Gonna get taken down by Lasky, who wins the run for Koala. And you kinda called it, Seb, there that they're gonna play
very
passive.
Nice there.
Yeah.
Just
so
played
what did
off
they
the
do?
aggression of Devour
Exactly.
there.
And what did they... Yeah, they played very passive. Then they made a move as soon as Devour got the uplink and really got going on the scoreboard there. And it seems to be more Koala as more of like a team effort. Rather if you look at Ski Influence, they have Ski and Signweaver who's leading the frag shot, while Koala is more even. So we're gonna follow here the little nade trick and see if it works again. If he lines it up this time. It doesn't seem like it. So they're it's not gonna do the same nade trick that we saw last time. Also actually because Koala was the one that died from it, so they're probably aware of it and played a bit passive there. And here we have Signweaver, who's gonna have Kiwi here, spotting out each other. And again, it's match point for Influence, who's now on the attacking side. Yeah, we'll figure out the callouts of the different places. I need your help for that one, Seb K. What to call the different areas in this map, because there's no official call. Is there official callouts?
We do have callouts, yeah.
Yeah, I can see on the left there, like arcade. It says now I'm speaking crew to peak. But usually in games you have callouts being made organically.
Yeah, they're very fluid, and so these are definitely not. We're not like, forcing them or anything. But
yeah, they're official, but not official.
Yeah.
So here we have Tesserin is going to be greeted by Influence. And Devour is just, again, they're just chilling. And so is Influence, who are on match point. And can Influence really expect Koala to be the aggressive here? I think that it should be expected that Influence should make a move as they're on match point.
Yeah, I think they might be scared of Koala third-partying them.
Yeah. And here we have Char starting things off. Ski knows this around the corner. Oh, but it's Char, though, who's really doing a good job here. Getting traded eventually by Kanswan, and time's ticking so fast. So we have actually Koala and Kansi can't get uplink. Devour wins the round. So we have an explosion of frags here in the end there, and I couldn't. It's so impossible to observe that one because it was happening everywhere on the map.
Cool interaction there by the end by Devour. They tried to polluter, which is a sort of gas grenade that gives a damage over time effect over where it lands.
Yep.
And then they tried to use the secondary on the Hellfire rifle, which fires a firewall. So there's an interaction between those two where if you fire the firewall inside of a deployed polluter, it sort of explodes the fumes of the polluter and sort of makes a big explosion. So
okay.
Tried to use that there during the defense. It was kind of cool.
And that's something that you need two players to work together to do. Because
no, you can do it. You can do it as one.
Yeah, okay, yes. Yeah, that's a very cool interaction there. So you get like almost like a gas explosion by adding those two interactions together. And now it's Koala here who's needs to get a win basically. So if Influence or Devour win this, they're going to be advancing to the final, meaning that. And how should Koala play this? Because you know that the other teams are like looking for the win, I guess.
Yeah. We'll see. I imagine that they're going to be passive here, but...
So you say so. They get the first frag there on Ski 1. So a little aggressive peek there, and then he falls back completely. And we have Luciero here. Jumping up and holding a bit of a disgusting angle, I would say. And clearly clearing out every corner, and it's pretty interesting. It's almost like who wants it the most now between Influence and Devour. They are on match point. It's a best of one, so it's if Influence or Devour win, they will advance to the final. If Koala wins, we will see another round. We're following Tesserin here. Lasky. So they have a minute on the clock, so a lot of time to work with here. And they're just slowly inching forward. We have Signweaver here who's going to be greeted by Kansi, who's holding the corner. But see if he can get traded here by Fringer. So we'll see that fight happening. They're about to go around the corner here. Does Kansi know? He has his teammate who's going to trade him. And here we have, as I said, Neyman there trading there for him. So 2 for 1 there. And you should take that as Koala. And Devour should be very happy about it. They don't know about it, but if they knew, they would be happy. And it's all left down to Krutio Peak if he wants to win for his team. And we have Devour here. 10 seconds. Lasky there. Neyman starting things off. He's shooting through the wall. Gets not uplink controller. And now it's Devour here in the driving seat. And Koala, no! Seb K, help me there. What happened there?
I believe once again they had a hacked capture that someone shot off, and Koala got it back there, and they didn't capture it in time.
Yeah,
very tight.
And now we're all even all of a sudden. So a good job there by Koala on the defensive side there, and now we're on the southern side of the map. And yeah, so it was very close there because Devour had 2 players alive, so if they would have had a second on the clock there, they could have captured uplink and won them the game and advanced to the final. But now, it's all even. So, Koala crawling back into the match here.
Very interesting defense there from there, because there's a thing, I'm not sure if this is what they were doing, but it could have been. So when two of the other teams have match point like that, you could, you know, as a defender, assume they're going to attack each other and then use that as an opportunity to push out yourself and sort of catch them off guard, you know, which they seem to. They took mid control there very early, which was quite cool to see.
Yeah. So there's no set like strategy or meta, and the teams have been practicing leading up to this. So we'll see different strategies and tactics being deployed here, and small tips and tricks like the nade thing we saw. And now it's Koala who's working as a 1 unit here, coming up from the northern side. Gonna probably be greeted by Ski and Finger here. Fringer, sorry for mispronouncing your nickname. And again, similar to most matches, is a very passive start, but it's Devour here who's feel like they need to be a bit more aggressive here on the attacking side. Kiwi just making sure that no one's gonna flank up behind them. So he's standing there and watching into a camera for the entire round, basically.
30 seconds.
Just making sure that no one's flanking. Here's Fringer here, getting a flash off from a teammate.
Red team now controls
And now Devour is controlling the uplink, and meanwhile this is happening, it's Koala and Influence who are fighting while Devour is just taking it easy, setting up their defense now as they have captured uplink. And in the end we have 2 Koala players and slowly moving in, capturing the uplink.
Yellow team now controls
Yeah, and now it's Koala there who's been growing on us round by round, and it's all left up name and totally flashed. 1 versus 3, 10 seconds though. He doesn't have any nades or... Yeah, this is working. Then it's gonna be Kiwi who takes them down. It's round goes to Devour, and now they are on match point. Break that down for me, Seb. You're the eminent expert here today in this broadcast.
Yeah, that was very back and forth round there. An interesting thing I should probably clarify here is the way these teams are capturing a lot of the time is they're using the hacking drone, which is one of the gadgets we have, which again works sort of like the hacking dart I was mentioning earlier, but has a entire gadget. So you can use it to remotely capture the uplink. It's like a little flying drone flies around it. So what the teams are doing here is they are throwing the drone and timing it with a smoke pop. So because obviously you can shoot the drone while it's capping, so that would cancel it. But if you smoke the uplink while you have the drone on there, it'll be very hard to
yeah, we're gonna see the nade here again. 2 nades coming in.
transmission.
Don't connect, but you can see Influencer looking on the left. They're like, what happened? The nade came from nowhere, and it took some damage off Ski 1 there, but they couldn't get the frag. So it's a cool... I think that Devour nade lineup is very cool, and it adds an interesting element where you can't feel safe even from the start.
Yeah, it's a big differentiator of the bottom side here to the top one, where here's the open roof, so you can actually do nades like that over to the other spawns and stuff.
Yeah, and they're not doing it to Koala, they're doing it only to Influence, because they haven't gotten the kill there. And Koala died there before to that little trick. So they're taking it out, pulling it out here and there. And it's Devour here, again on match point as the defensive team. And I guess who's between Influence and Koala. They're both like almost waiting for the other one to make a move, because it favors them. But I'm expecting that we're gonna have the timer go down, and we're just gonna see a huge insert of fighting, and someone's gonna come out ahead. Because it doesn't seem like anyone wants to make a
30 seconds.
aggressive move here as they're breaching up the wall there. And that might signal Devour here on the defensive side that to their position. And they posted up here on the high ground there above the uplink, playing very close to each other. Here we have actually Tester in here, and Devour 5 seconds to go. Everybody on the uplink. It's actually Signweaver, can he get it? Signweaver gets the uplink there for Influence, and all of a sudden it's Influencer on the defense, and it's down to Kiwi, who gets the first frag, uses the camera to spot the enemy, hides behind the wall with the sniper rifle. Can he get frag? No, can't connect the shot. Signweaver low though. can't get Signweaver. And in the end, it's Influence who wins the round. And now they're also on match point. Whew.
Very tight game here.
Yeah, it's a very tight game, and in the end, they all dive the uplink there, and it's Influence.
Yeah, you pretty much called it.
Yeah, the chaotic there in the end. It's hard to keep track of. I'll give you that. It's expected the 12 players fighting and everybody dying within 5 seconds. So bear with me with this observing. I'm the first ever ALARA observer, so. Yeah, and we now have the Koala here on the defense, and unless they win, if Devour or Influence win this round, they're gonna be advancing to the final. Koala doing an aggressive move here with Naymond and Kansi, who's looking down the hallway. It's a very tight position. They gotta hold 2 angles here. As see Naymond here and Lasky playing on the higher ground. It seems like, again, similar to last round, both teams are taking, similar to almost all rounds, both teams are playing very passively in the start. They're very spread out now, though, on Team Koala. We have Tesserin here, hovering on the southern side of the map. We have Lasky, center, and then we have Kansi and Naymond here playing more together. And they're eventually gonna have to hold both angles here. On the high ground above them, we can see that Shara is moving in, being greeted by his 2 teammates, Kiwi and I don't know. I guess that's his nickname. And we have this little sneaky move here from Tesserin, who's going to be greeted by 4 Influence players who are moving in from the southern side. Flashing out, clearing the corner with the nades. Time's ticking though for Team Koala. So we're seeing this push here on the uplink, and meanwhile, it's going to be so hard for Lasky. He's all alone here on the bomb site. Gets greeted by 4 players. That says, hello, friend. And now we have a lot of action going here. Ski getting the frag on the uplink. And the time's taken for Team Koala, though. So we have Ski here diving for the capturing of the uplink. If he can't connect it, he will connect it. And now it's actually Devour and IDK. And now Ski 1 is capturing uplink again. 1 versus 2 here. Kansi getting the frag. And now it's a 1 versus 0. Do they know it? Naymond captured it, and all of a sudden Koala evens it out again. Sub K, help me, what happened there? We have a sudden death within the sudden death now.
Yeah, it feels like the pattern we're seeing here is the attacker teams trying to play off the other attackers, is sort of messing up, you know, both being passive and waiting for one to engage, and then using, you know, the damage they suffer from that engagement to sort of take it. But of course, the problem with this is that if both teams are doing this, it sort of favors the defenders because they're both sort of, you know, playing chicken with one another, not, you know, pushing in themselves. So, saw the timer doing its work there.
Yeah, for sure, and it's very chaotic. And now, Influence, who decided in the sudden do or die round, who advances, they decided to play defense. So they believe that it favors them to play on the defensive side. And we'll see if they're right. So far it's been very chaotic, and now it's a very interesting situation here on who's gonna do what. Koala, Devour, and Influence. Going all the way in this first ever ALARA Prime tournament match. In the first semifinal of 3 semifinals, best of 1, do or die, sudden death after an intensely overtime, and we see that Lucero are the one that's gonna fire the first bullet in the sudden death round, and it's against Koala here. So
deploying recon camera.
Yeah, and we see that Devour there is doing a around the world moving all the way around, and we see on the top side here we're gonna have Shara being greeted by Lasky. So that's probably going to be the first. And he has his teammate behind him. Lasky doesn't know he's going to get greeted by 4 Devour players. Spots 1. Gets the frag. Knows another one is there. He's just going to fall back now. Healing up a bit. Taking a new angle. Getting help from his teammates at Kansi. And Devour just say, I don't want anything to do with that. I'm going to run away to my teammates. And we have a team killer in the sudden death round. That's Kiwi.
30 seconds.
Trying to help his teammate, but it backfires totally. And Kiwi there falling down, making up for his team kill. Shineweaver getting on scoreboard as well. And again, it's very good for Team Influence. They're just hanging back. 2 members of Koala can't stay evening it out. 2 versus 2 versus 2. Both Influence players falling. They can't win the round unless the uplink takes out. Kansi needs to get on the uplink, but if he dies, then they're gonna let them take the uplink. Or? Yes, they let them take the uplink so they don't lose the round. And that's a very interesting interaction. Quick thinking there.
15.
And it's Kiwi. Can't do it.
Oh my
Koala!
God.
Wow!
Yellow team won the match.
What a comeback.
Yeah, what a comeback there. Koala coming back from the dead there as... Yeah, they were down and winning in the end in the sudden death. Very interesting interaction there. Correct me if I was wrong there, Seb. We're gonna go back to the studio quickly. Correct me if I was wrong there, but Devour let Koala take the uplink so Influence wouldn't win. Am I right
Yeah,
in that?
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
because the Influence timer was just about to run through, and obviously if they killed the capper there, then Influence would have won. So they had no choice pretty much.
Yeah, very quick thinking there, because if you see the enemy, like, you often shoot, but they were aware of the timer there, and congratulations there to the first round winner there for our match, and it was called Koala. So what did they do that allowed them to win the match, you would say?
It was just very sort of, you know, very deliberate plays and very yeah, they just played very well. I think that was a very impressive showing.
Yeah, and we're gonna be looking at the bracket here of the tournament. We had a quick starter. The map pool is gonna be Oasis and Reactor. We just saw Oasis being played there, right? I'm not watching it. It was Oasis being played. And from the first semi-final, we can see that Koala advanced after beating Devour in Influence. They were behind all game, but once we got into overtime, they started really playing a bit more aggressive and starting winning rounds. And in the sudden death round, in that close combat with Devour, they managed to win the final round and advancing to the final of the first ever ALARA Prime tournament. Before we take a quick break, what do you know about the teams that's gonna be playing now in the next semi-final? Boot Monkeys, Vision X, and Super Saiyans. Do you know anything about them? Or should we save that for the pre-show?
Maybe we can say I recognize some of these names for sure, so it'll be interesting. But I have no insider info, so it'll be all up to what we see here.
Yeah, we'll do some. Then we're gonna send it to break. We'll do some reading up on the players and the teams. And when we're back, we're gonna have the second semi-final of the first ever ALARA Prime tournament. Congratulations to Koala. They advanced to the final there in a nail-biting sudden death match where it came down to a 1 versus 1 there. So really good job done. We're gonna send it to break, but when we're back in roughly 5 to 10 minutes, you'll see on the countdown timer, we'll be back with the second semi-final. See you in a bit.
Two guys coming main. 3 guys coming main.
Securing the uplink. Frag out. Securing the uplink.
Two guys coming main. Three guys coming main.
Securing the uplink. Frag out. Securing the uplink.
Hi and welcome to the first ever ALARA Prime community tournament. My name is Joachim, I go by the nickname Joe Awesome. With me I got Seb K, Sebastian, who's
Hello.
an ALARA Prime developer. Can you tell me about yourself? What's your background in gaming and whatnot?
I play a bunch of games. It's pretty much all I do. I've been working on this game in particular now for like 4 years, I think. So yeah, I'm working hard. Really excited to see this tournament, and it's very cool to see these teams play at a higher level. You know.
Yeah, we can jump into the bracket and we can see where we are in the tournament. We could see from the first semi-final here that we just played. If you missed it, we saw Koala do a really good comeback here. It was Team Devour that was leading the chart most of the game. Influence was there close to winning, etc. But in the end, Koala managed to do a really, really nice comeback, coming back from the bottom and winning in the sudden death match there. It all came down to a 1 versus 1 there in the end. And now we're going to be focused on the second semifinal, but before we do that, what did you think about the first game, Seb?
It was very fun to watch. I did not expect Koala to be able to pull it back there, but yeah, it was very, very well played of them.
Yeah, and now we're going to be looking at the second semifinal, and we're going to have Vision X versus SSJ and Boot Monkeys. Super Saiyans are their nickname, as you saw in the bracket there. So do you know any of these players before we kick the match off? Anything that...
I recognize some nicks maybe, but not too much. I mean, they're called Team Super Saiyan there in the middle, and that's got to be pretty powerful. So
Yeah.
high hopes.
Yeah, not only are you the expert here today, at least compared to me, you're also the one that start the game, so you get the power to start whenever you want, I think. So we are ready, the players are ready, so I'd say we start off the second game, and we can still talk about the teams that are going to be playing. So
Sounds good.
Yeah, I'm gonna kick off the game, and this time we're gonna actually go to Reactor. We played Oasis before, and now we're playing Reactor. And how it worked is that we have 3 teams. They vote on which map they want to play in this best of 1, and the majority winner actually is the map we're gonna be playing, basically. So we can see that we're not gonna announce. Should we tell in the broadcast who voted for what?
I mean, we could.
Yeah, okay, let's do for the first round. We had Devour voting for Oasis, we had Team Influence voting for Oasis, and Koala actually voted for Reactor. So even though we played on Oasis, and they wanted Reactor, they still managed to come out ahead. So it's going to be interesting to see in the finals when we play Reactor. And now and for this match, we have Team Boot Monkeys voted for Reactor, Vision X voted for Reactor, and Super Science voted for Oasis. So Super Science not getting the map they want to play, while Vision X and Boot Monkeys got the map they want to play. So can you talk us about this map? You have been working on this game for 4 years. You've been playing this map a lot.
I have, yeah.
Yeah, what separates this map from Oasis?
Oh, it is interesting. There's no real open ceilings like in Oasis, so we probably not going to see too many of those huge nades like last match.
Yeah.
Mid is a cool space. There's a bridge, but yeah, we'll see here what the teams do with this map, but it's high potential there.
And starting off here, we have Super Science here going as a unit of 4 people here on the northern side. They're gonna get greeted here by Spoon and Genesis here, who's holding the dagger. Spoon, not yet though. While on the other side, we have Boot Monkeys here, who's also playing it slow. And similar to the first match, we saw that people were playing really slow. And here Spoon's gonna get... They're around the corner there. We'll see if they opt to go in or not. And they hear them on behind the breachable wall there. And now Mens is checking his behind. Gonna be breaking up this wall now, and that's gonna lure Spoon here that at least one enemy is behind the wall. And he's gonna be forced to hold that angle now, which he will. Meanwhile, we hear shots going off in the middle there, and their Spoon connects on the shot, but gets some damage on himself as well. All tracked in this corner. Meanwhile, the blue team, aka Super Saiyans, gets the uplink there with the secondary fire of the weapon. I didn't see anyone jump on the uplink there. And now it... Spoon here and Croco are left for Team Vision X, and it's Luxon. 15 more seconds. 2 versus 3 versus 1. We have Luxon here looking to defend. Someone's capturing the uplink. Can't get the kill. And it's actually Boot Monkeys who comes out of nowhere. Or not nowhere, I should say, but comes out in the end and win the first round as the attacking side. They were starting from the southern side. And now they're going to be attacking from the northern side. Seb, what happened there? Tell me, why did Boot Monkeys win? You're our expert.
That was interesting there. Super Saiyans got in quite early in the round there with the breached wall and then got the early uplink hack, but they were all sort of, they felt pretty funneled in that little corridor by the breach wall and got, they got punished there by a graviton grenade that ended up doing some good damage, so unfortunate that they got stuck there.
And this is an interesting move. We're setting up the camera before to see if their defending teams, Super Saiyans, are going to push on their side, which they are not. So we have here Sat is just looking through the camera. Now he's going to make a move up ahead. Look, some ping is where it's going to be defending. We have this 2-prompt setup here with MTCN, who's holding down the corridor. On his left is a breachable wall. He's getting help here from Luxon here. He's going to be holding the wall that hasn't been broken yet, but they're expecting the team to push through there. So they have a bit of a cool crossfire here where Luxon is gonna get to the action, then MTCN1 is gonna swing and from another angle. So a cool little setup here on the northern side of the entrance to the uplink. Meanwhile on the southern side we can see Spoon here taking ground with the flash grenades, pre-spam walling, and it's gonna be greeted by Buh, who is scoring a very close angle here. And it seems to be the name of the game. And here we have that action. We have MTCN coming out of nowhere and looks at MTCN. I missed it unfortunately, but I did predict it to some extent. So good job by them with that crossfire. And I mean, now it's time for Berjanas. Gets the frag on. It's Bro actually getting a frag on Vision X there. And they have a smoke in it, so they can't push through that. And they're gonna have to fall back, and while this is happening, it's looking really good for Super Saiyans. They did not win the first round, but here's the defensive. They have a really cool setup, I think. They're playing 2 duos together, holding the different angles and trading with each other. And it's all left up to Bio here, who's gonna be crawling up behind Vision X here, but it feels like it's the Team Vision X here who needs to make a move as a doing that.
I think you need swap screen.
Oh yeah, that's good actually. So sorry for that. My bad. Good that you called it out. So there we go. So my bad there that I didn't swap scene, but stuff happens.
Yeah.
And in the end, we can now see that it's Super Saiyan who won that round. And sorry for the viewers at home that didn't go into the in-game. And now we can see that it's Boot Monkeys who are on the defensive side. They got the first round. Super Saiyans got the second round. Super Saiyans defending there and Boot Monkeys winning as the attacking side. And now it's Boot Monkeys who are on the defensive side. And they're gonna do a push there on the western side, not to be greeted by anyone. And a similar thing here. It feels like this is a point of contention, this northern entrance here that's being held by Veiru. It's a breachable wall here that's been cleared up, or an angle that's been cleared up. So it's Veiru all alone, getting the action, getting the kill by Heaven Sent. It's a hard angle. It feels like a default position there to play this side. We've seen every defending team do this. And meanwhile we have Satis here who's looking through with the camera, making sure that the uplink is not being captured. While this is happening, we're going to have Genesis here who's going to get greeted by 4 Super Saiyan players. Here's them around the corner. Throwing out a scan grenade. And Super Saiyans there.
Scan out.
We have a nice little flank here by Croco. Shouldn't expect him to come around the corner here. And they don't. He gets the easy frag there on B. And now it's looking good for the defending Boot Monkeys. They have all 4 players alive.
30 seconds.
That's 30 seconds. Time's ticking very fast now for the players. Throwing up the grenade up there. Capturing the uplink there with the mechanic you talked about earlier with the hacking thing. So now it's... But they don't manage to capture it, so it means that they're gonna have to jump on the uplink there. And we see Croco here actually gonna be taken down. And this means that... it's MTC and both are capturing it. They get the uplink in a 2 versus 1 now, so it's all left up to TV here, and it gets the first frag. 1 versus 1 now versus Super Saiyans. TV. 20 seconds. He knows that he's here somewhere because he saw him go in there and can't connect the shot. It's actually Berjanas for Super Saiyan there who gets the point on the board, and they win the cycle. First winning as a defender, now winning as attacker, and that means that they are off to a great lead.
Yeah, nicely done.
Yeah, and we'll see how we saw that in the first game, how the overall meta strategy with the points, I don't want to call it meta strategy, but like the macro strategy in winning the rounds, how that affect the tactics, etc. So now they know that Super Saiyans, who are off to a great lead, have spawned down to the bottom left. And it looks like Vision X are gonna make some kind of push here, potentially. And how would you play this out as Super Saiyans?
It'll be interesting to see here, depending on how aggressive the other teams are towards them, because they definitely have a target on their head now, but we'll see.
Yeah, and they're getting some map control here on the southern side of the uplink, actually moving in fairly quickly compared around to see that deployed wall there blocking off their pathway there. While this is going on, we have the Boot Monkeys taking it very slow on the northern side, so they're getting pinched here now, Vision X, as they're moving around. It seems like Boot Monkeys are gonna go all the way around the map here, and it's almost up to this Super Saiyan team to make the first move. They break through the deployed wall and sending out various utility to try to get control, smoking off the uplink there. And we have Spoon there, can't get the frag. Can his teammate do it? Yes, Genesis gets one, but there's one on the uplink there, but he doesn't know it. It's gonna follow Lux on there with a great frag, and Sat is there with the help of Veiru getting down Luxon. And in the end, Boot Monkeys were playing passive now in a 4 versus 1 versus 1, and it's MTCN1 and Croco here. Croco with full HP. Has 30 seconds now. Gets the first frag. But in a way it could be his friend there, Super Saiyan. He needs... Now he's in a 1 versus 4. TV taking damage there from some kind of trap or grenade. Or maybe a team damage there. With 20 seconds to go, we're gonna have to see a huge highlight play here from him.
15.
Gets the first one. Gets the second one. Ah, shoots the Mimic and can't get the third. And it's Boot Monkeys who retaliating and getting the round there. Nice try though by Croco there in the 1 versus 5.
Yeah, very nice effort.
Do you think you should call it 1 versus 5 or should you call it 1 versus 4 versus 1?
Yeah, it's always tricky.
It's kind of cool. 1 versus 8. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it was interesting that round. We saw sort of a similar situation to the last round there, where Boot Monkeys were able to leverage the fact that Super Saiyans were a bit more aggressive, and then trade it off versus Vision, and then use that to their advantage to take the round.
Yeah, I see Veiru here holding this angle from spawn, expecting someone to come, but it's not going to get greeted. Meanwhile, we have Berjanas here sole lone war on the uplink. And how would you play this now as the defensive team? Super Saiyans won as defender last time, but that was on the northern side. Now we're playing on the southern uplink spot. So we'll see what kind of tactics they've deployed here.
Yeah, when they were defending the northern side, they had a very tight sort of double crossfire setup. They seem a bit more spread out now, but yeah, we'll see. Actually, they have a pretty good...
Yeah, they have a similar setup here where Luxon is
Yeah.
going to take action and the MTCN. And we see this play before from both these plays actually. So Luxon is going to get the first contact and then MTCN is going to swing out because they're not going to be expecting him to be there as Luxon is firing and taking the attention, so to say. And they're going to get greeted by 4 Vision X players who are playing it very slow. So we'll see how this plays out. I think it's going to be interesting. And they even have Bo here, semi-close, who could come in and help if need to. So we're going to see now Luxon's going to get the first contact and we're going to see MTCN going to swing out right here. They're going to
30 seconds.
throw a smoke on it, so they're kind of anticipating it. And Luxon gets the contact and MTCN can't help him. So good job there by Vision X anticipating that play. And here we have Luxon gets the first one, get the second one. Good job by him.
15.
And it's getting help there from MTCN, almost wiping Boot Monkeys. And time is just ticking very fast now. As we can see that Status is going in for the uplink. Can't connect the frag on Bruh. TV getting the uplink now. And now it's the Boot Monkeys who are on the defensive. But Super Saiyans there with the MTCN and Luxon are still at a man advantage. 3 versus 1 even. So it's TV this time. Getting his vision obscured there by the nade. Shooting the Mimic. Jumping around the corner. Can't get the kill. It's Super Saiyans
15.
who are gonna win the round.
Team won the round.
Yeah, and
Super
that was...
Saiyan really proving themselves strong defenders here.
Yeah, they have really good setups there. We can see they're playing that duo setup with MTCN and Luxon and doing the same thing on the other side of the map with Be and Berianas. So they're playing like 2 duos in a way with very interesting crossfires and it was actually Luxon who started things off very well there with the first frag there together with the MTCN. So now they have even a bigger target on the back, being the ones that are on match point. And we've seen this played out before. I don't want to say the teams work together, but they have a gentleman agreement to work together in a way. So we see now, for instance, here how Boot Monkeys are positioning themselves on the right side because they know that Super Saiyan's on the right side. Same with Vision X. They're kind of almost ignoring the uplink play and going for Super Saiyans. So it appears that they have a target on their back, and we'll see how they play accordingly. They're playing together as one unit now. Just posing up a defense here with an interesting boost as well, where we can see Luxon here, who's boosted by his teammate Be. And they're just playing very passively, hoping that... And now here, Heaven sends... Here's the steps. Gets the first frag. So 1 player down, 4 to go. We can now see that Genesis here is also looking for... Can't get the shot. That was an easy frag. But sometimes the bullets doesn't connect. Be really coming up big here. Getting 2 frags. It's Super Saiyans. And just like that, Vision X are wiped. And it's 2 versus 4 here in favor of the Boot Monkeys. And again, it's Super Saiyans here. 2 versus 4. With 40 seconds to go on the uplink. And they are on match point. Vision X can't be there. They're probably sharing now for Boot Monkeys, so they can stay in this game.
Seconds.
We have Veyur here with a interesting angle. To his right we have 2 players who sneaking around. Gonna get spotted by the camera there. I don't know if they are aware of it. 15 seconds. Fragging out the uplink and gonna...
Flash out.
Need to make a move now. Time's ticking very fast now. 4 players alive. They're just playing the clock here. Capturing the uplink. Interrupted. Needs to get on the uplink. Can't do it.
Cycle.
And Boot Monkeys win the cycle there. So break that down for me, Seb. What happened there?
It's always fun to see how the sort of dynamics work out there. So what happened was that Super Saiyans predicted they were going to get pushed by the other attacking team, so they sort of set up a second defense in the other uplink side. So they sort of became a second defending team in a way, and then they duped it out there. And because
Yeah,
they
on this
correctly
northern
called
side,
it.
they had this like full setup and expecting it. So they only lost one. They only lost 2 players there, wiping Vision X. But Vision X did the damage, and Boot Monkey could win the round. And now it's again, they're not on match point anymore. So they can take a breather. They won't have as big of a target on their back. And now it's kind of up to Vision X to do something. We have this northern setup, and we've seen players play this corner around here, especially in this angle right there where I'm drawing on the map. And it's gonna be Genesis and Spoon who's gonna be controlling that area, while on the southern side we have Croco and Heaven Sent setting up their defense. And neither team has are on match points, so there's no clear dynamic, but we've seen this fight, this position from Spoon here. They have now, just around the corner here, we can see Bro from Super Saiyans and Luxon. Spoon is gonna greet them if they go through that. What do you call that wall? Sorry for doing the noob question here. The wall next to Spoon.
The blockade.
Yeah, the blockade.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's call it blockade. That works. So he's gonna be aware that the players are gonna come around there, and similar to many rounds when we get in deeper into the match, they kind of slow down and it gets very hectic in the end because they're kind of figuring out each other. They can't use the same setup as last time, so they need to get creative with their strategies, and it's gonna be Spoon here, greeted by potentially 4 players. They should have heard him drop down there. He hears the steps from Super Science there. Gonna report that there's at least 2 players there. And Genesis now. Pre-firing Bird though is the one that's gonna fall first to Veyro. And here we have it, a flash grenade here. TV getting the frag.
15.
Flash out.
Yeah, and we're gonna be seeing here Spoon here shooting on the uplink. And there we have it, a nade being tossed out, Croco. And they just play very passive there and letting the other team basically do the work for them, just setting up there. And we can now welcome Vision X on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they did a good job that round, sort of funneling the 2 attacking teams together, because you saw them blockade off the sort of entrances to side, and then the entrance to mid, where the other team was coming from, sort of coincided with a vulnerable wall. So it was well played from them.
Yeah, and they saved their utility there for the last second of the uplink, so the team couldn't really do a lot when they were throwing various utilities on the uplink there to prohibit them from taking it. And we see this setup here on the northern side, a very point of contention, this alleyway, and we've seen this setup before. Luxon
Defend the uplink transmission.
and MTCN now, a little creative booster.
Going healing station.
So it's gonna be interesting to see how this plays out, and it's gonna be MTCN holding the back of Luxon's boosted position. Have you seen this boost before?
I'm actually not, and this is pretty cool.
Yeah, so with this he has a good view of the uplink, but in the meanwhile, on the southern side, it's probably where we're gonna get the action first. Here we have Satis there, deploying a recon camera. Can't spot anyone. Oh, actually does he spot Genesis there? So with the recon camera, knows that there's an enemy there. Where's Veyru starting things off there, getting the frag. And Croco here, get bio. Can TV return the favor and counter frag? He knows that Croco is around the corner. Croco coming out, it falls there, so good job by TV. Not rushing things. Meanwhile, with Heaven Centers, have a bit of a lurk going and hears him. Knows that there's a player around there somewhere, spots him, gets the headshot, good job by him. And now Veyru hears Heaven Sent just running here. And this is so good for Super Saiyans. There, Veyru getting frag on Heaven Sent, and in the end we have a 2 versus 4, so Super Saiyans haven't really needed to be doing anything. They're letting the other team do the work for them, so now we'll see how they can attack this uplink. 1 versus 4 now. Capturing it with the hacking device, but it's not enough. And it's gonna be Super Saiyans who are now back on match point again. Seb, what happened there in that round?
Yeah, it was just a classic situation of not enough time there. You know, big ambition, but Super Saiyan just sort of getting around at them almost.
Yeah, and for Boot Monkeys it became 2 fights. They first fight the Division X and clear them out completely. And then they had to take on the Super Saiyans being 2 men
Round starts in
less.
10 seconds.
It's 2 versus 4 there, and that's kind of tricky with no time left on the clock. And over time we'll see how the teams are adapting to the playstyles of these players, because we've seen in the match how the tactics changes as they're figuring out each other. And this time it's going to be a sniper setup here by TV. Holding a tight angle there. Falling back. And with a bio here with the camera just staring down. Same there, to spot them there. So he spots 2 enemies. Poising up with the sniper. TV and bio there. Drops down. He knows that the players are around the corner there. And there's going to be 3 Super Saiyan players. They have a target on the back. They're on match point. Failing the nade. It's going to take some damage from bio. Almost killing bio in the process. So a failed nade there to... And it's Luxon who's getting on the scoreboard. But here we have TV there. Getting flashed there. Super Saiyans making their push. And it's going to be bio and TV. Spots bro. Can't connect the shot. And now it's bio and TV here.
30 seconds.
Setting up a smoke grenade to block off the vision. Meanwhile, we have Croco here joining the fray as well. And this is very good for Super Saiyans who are on match point. That Boot Monkeys and Vision X are fighting against each other. Boot Monkeys have the uplink though. Croco, and in the end, frags left and right. 2 versus 4 in the favor of Boot Monkeys. 3 versus 2, I mean. Connects a shot, and is there time left? No! Boot Monkey wins the round. And that means that they're also on match point as we're heading into this tiebreaker. And much like last time, can you explain for the viewers at home how the tiebreaker works?
Yes, so when each team in a cycle has a round, the team with the most uplink uptime, so the ones who have captured the uplink and held it for the longest, gets to pick who is defending.
Yeah. And they have opted to see that the defensive team is going to be Boot Monkeys here. It's
an interesting round last round, even though Super Saiyans had the match point. You didn't see much like Yellow Team or Vision X didn't really push them or anything, but Boot Monkeys had a pretty nice camera setup where they had pretty much full info on Super Saiyan's push throughout the entire round, which was quite cool to see.
Yeah, it was bio there on TV with, and this is again a point of contention. We've seen this area right here. Veyro now is going to be the one that's going to holding this northern angle. It seems like a lot of action has been going on there, and it's going to be again Super Saiyans with 3 players gonna go to that little small corridor, and TV is gonna start things off with the snipers. A good job by him. And now we hear the wall spamming coming through there, and it's Veyro there just holding this angle. And TV there, Veyro, Super Saiyans with 3 players. And it's gonna... Now they know that he's on the right side because he had to shoot there. So, see the grenades coming through. Oh, he's looking away, and that means he's gonna die. But starting things off good for Super Saiyans. But Satis can return the favor. Again, this close angle there. Using the camera, holding multiple angles with the camera. 3 of them to be exact. And he spots Berjana's 30 seconds on the clock on the uplink timer. And Boot Monkey and Super Saiyans are the one who are in the tiebreak and can win this match. And for Vision X, they kind of know that they're gonna duke it out. So we see the Vision X push here on the uplink. See Croco here holding the capture of the uplink. Gonna get it, and now it's Vision X here. TV can't connect the shot. Try to fall behind, and it's Boot Monkeys. And while this is happening, we have Bio, Birjana's falling down. It looks very good for the Boot Monkeys to win this match. Gets the frag. They have done it, but they don't know it yet.
15.
All they need to do is capture the uplink. And they do. And after a
Red team won the match.
good round there by Boot Monkeys and how they're utilizing the cameras, I would say, we have a winning team in the form of Boot Monkeys in this second final of the best of one match. And Seb, help me here. Why did the Boot Monkeys win and what made them the better team in the second semifinal?
Yeah, they had pretty solid in the second half of that match. Good defense setups and just held angles well. Got that early pick on the Vision X there at the start of that round. It was quite important. And yeah, it's quite a good showing.
Yeah, and if you're new to the broadcast, this was the second semi-final, and unlike other normal sports and games, because we have three teams, we actually have three semi-finals because of how the dynamic in ALARA Prime is working, where you play 1 versus 1 versus 1 means that we need 3 semi-finals. So we can take a look at the bracket now, and if you're just joining us now, the first match was won by Koala there, who managed to come back after being very behind there in the early portion of the game. In the second match, we saw Boot Monkeys kind of dominating, I would say. I thought it was Super Saiyan and Boot Monkeys. Vision X didn't really have a say in it. They won a round there, but they never felt like they were close. It felt like it was Boot Monkeys and Super Saiyans who were the two teams that were fighting for a slot in the final. And yeah, now we're gonna focus our attention on the third semi-final. Do you know anything about the team, Seb? And the third semi-final, we have Solid, the North Shields, and Pericord.
Ooh. Once again, I'm going in blind, but
you're going in
sound very
blind,
promising.
yeah. And for Team Solid, we have Salty, Amistosa, PNAB, and Oxygen. And North Shield, we have Yellow Scrub, Despetic, Dead Wish, and Jenny. And Varbil, Utaxe, and Raph, and Bracket. Oh, we're gonna see that Bracket play. That's gonna be interesting. The one without a nickname. And how we've done this, that we have the two maps, Reactor and Oasis, that we're competing on, and the 3 teams, they vote which map they want to be playing on. So in the first match, it was Oasis that won 2 versus 1. This match we had Reactor, and for the third and final semi-final, we're gonna have Oasis again. And this was Team Solid who voted for Oasis. Sorry, Team Solid voted for Reactor. The North Shield voted for Oasis, and Team Pericord voted for Oasis. So we have Team Solid here who prefers Reactor. And that's going to be interesting as we go into the final there and which map the teams prefer, so to say. Do you have any closing words before we go to a short break? Before we're going to kick off the...
Excited to see the next round here. There's definitely... Here we have some names that I know have been playing this game for a long time, so it'll be interesting to see how they fare.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're gonna send it to break, and when we're back, we're gonna have the third semi-final, and after that, we're gonna have a final that's gonna be played best of 3. So if you're just joining us, go grab a snack, get something to drink, and get ready for the third semi-final after the short break.
Okay. Just 2 guys coming main. 3 guys coming main.
Securing the uplink. Frag out. Securing the uplink.
Two guys coming main. Three guys coming main.
Securing the uplink. Frag out. Hell yeah. Securing the uplink.
Hello and welcome back to the first ever ALARA Prime community tournament. So, I'm your host, Joachim. I go by the nickname Joe Awesome. With me I got a very special guest in the form of an ALARA Prime developer, Seb K. Hello Seb K.
Very special. Hello.
And also known as, with the terminal, the Seb K clutch. A Seb clutch. Yeah.
Yeah.
We saw a few Seb clutches there. And if you're just joining us now, this is again the first ever ALARA Prime community tournament. I'm your host and commentator. Seb K is going to be the expert here, joining me, as he's been working hard on the game for 4 years, so he knows everything about it. And
Yeah.
and if you're just joining us, we are going to embark on the third semifinal. So let's look at the bracket here, and then we can also start the match actually if all the players are ready. So.
Yep.
We see that the bracket here, we have the first semifinal will call Koala managed to advance after coming back there. Semifinal 2, who was played on Reactor, we can see Boot Monkeys fairly dominating. Super Science and Boot Monkeys were the one that were dominating that match. And now we're gonna go into the third match, and that's gonna be Solid, North Shields, and Pericord. And we're about to jump into the game any second, but what do you think about the upcoming match? Who are your favorites?
It'll be interesting here. I know, I recognize some of the names from Team Solid here, from people who have been even in some of our internal playtests, so they've been playing for quite a while. So I got some experience on the belt, but of course that's not a guarantee or anything, but interesting.
And we're following Team Solid here, who's going to be starting off on the defensive side. And for people who may be not familiar with ALARA and Oasis, what's the strategy with this map,
Round starts in 10 seconds.
and how do you win? Like just do for the new viewers at home that we have a short little intro on how you win the game before the match kicks off.
Yeah, sure. So there's a defender team and 2 attacking teams. The defender has an uplink station, which is the sort of hexagonal thing in the middle of the site there that they have to keep defending. And their timer's up top there, and if the team that has the uplink when their timer goes to 0 wins the round, is the basic gist of it.
Yep. And you alternate between attacking and defensive, so it's no advantage, so to say, being
Exactly.
either of. In the end, it evens out. And we see that here we have Dead Wish here from Team Solid. I don't know what they call Team Solid when they have TNS, my bad. Who are following here, and that's going to be TNS starting off on the defensive side. Getting the first find dystopic there. With the help of Dead Wish there. Putting up, they see 2 more players. Fragging out the nader, and 3 TNS players there. Pericord players, I mean. As we see Dyspectic and Dead Wish there. Trying to hold this angle. Can't do it. They're actually getting flanked here. By Salty and Solid there. So in the end, Solid comes out ahead. Even though they're trading players, Solid are the one with 4 players alive. Losing from the nader. A bit
Red team now controls
interesting
the
how the kill feed seemed to be a bit delayed, but it's TNS on the defense. Gregory there. GG Nerdy, I can't pronounce his name, so I won't try. But he's holding the upper angle, seeing the uplink, spotting Oxygen there from Solid. Getting the help from his Yellow Scrub there. So it's Yellow Scrub and Julian. We're gonna call him GD3. GD3 there, 1 versus 3 now. Like his nickname.
15.
Healing up a bit. He has 15 seconds to get the uplink. How will he do this? I don't know. And neither does he or him. It seems to have a plan. Time's ticking very fast. He's just hiding. Can't get the frag. And it's gonna be Team Solid who takes the first round.
Yeah, unfortunate situation there for TNS as the defenders there. They had 2 players in the garden area on the sites, and they sort of got pinched by the pushing Team Solid and the other attacking teams to be stuck in that room and sort of just got taken out.
Yeah. So it was Team Solid there who third party that fight, you could say, and cleaned ace it, and then they only lost 1 member.
Round
So
starts in 10 seconds.
and that was Oxygen who died there in the final push there. So good start here from Team Solid, who coming into this match, I would say a bit of a favorite from what I've heard, and talked with our community manager, Ossen there. And now they're gonna be pushing here on the northern side garden, you call it, right?
Yeah, forest, I guess is the actual call.
Yeah,
actually.
forest garden,
Yes.
yeah, a tropical garden,
Yeah,
you could say.
the green,
And,
you know?
Yeah, and the Spetic starting things off, and we see that this northwestern side of the map seems to be the point of contention here for the players. We have 3, and here we have 3D and Energy, and it's only Vicardi, Valbil, I mean, can't get the frag, and now it's again, even though they're winning the fight, they're kind of losing the war as Team Solid are just hearing the action go off, and they're keeping all 4 members alive. So they have a more passive playstyle, and now we have a 4 versus 3. Not impossible for TNS, but it's gonna be very hard as they're man down. And we can't forget that it's actually Pericord who has the uplink control, so in theory they can win this if time runs out. So we can't count them out, but they're all dead and just praying that no one's gonna capture the uplink, I guess. And they have 40 seconds to do so. Slowing things down. Going as 1 unit here on the together. Picking up the recon camera. Uplink starting to tick faster and faster. Are they aware that they are around the corner? Sending out a mimic. Now they are aware. The Spedic evening out the number. Deadwish so as well. So really good here from TNS. Deadwish there. Keep controlling frags, and it's, in the end it's all down to Oxygen, who's running all the way around the world. He has 30 seconds to capture the uplink. Otherwise it's gonna be TNS here who's gonna even out the scoreboard. We see the Stedpick here. Oxygen can't get the frag. Oxygen can't connect with the shot. It's Spedic there, and Dyspeptic there, and Deadwish leading the short there for TNS. Really good job there. Break that down for me, Seb. Break that round. Help me.
That's an interesting choice there by Pericord as the defending. They defended like all in that room by towards TNS there. It was interesting. They just have every single defender in there holding them. Unfortunately, it didn't pay off for them, but it was interesting. And,
yeah, they had a very in that corner area of the northern south of the map. They were just packing everybody into the room, and interesting setup. This is the first tournament. There's no like set strategies, and we're gonna figure out the strategies as we go along, as people have been playing this game a lot but haven't been competing in it. And now it's Team Solid on the defense side. See what they can cook here with TNS are also on the board. So it's Pericord's turn to do nothing at all this round. And it's just chilling and spawn, waiting for the other 2 teams to be more active. And it's a very fine line you're balancing when you're playing passive, because you can't play too passive. Yeah, he's placing up the recon camera there. Gonna check the angles. Clearing behind that dumpster, container. Interesting use of the camera there. And not rushing things. And when we've seen this happen before, usually it means that there's gonna be an explosion of action happening at the same time. We have Yuta here sneaking up through the zip line ladder. Needs to make a noise here to jump over there. And below them we have Pennab here. Here steps Oxygen. Oxygen holding the angle too as well. It's a very passive start, but that means that we're gonna have an explosive ending of this round. Now they're making steps, jumping over. Must have been heard because you need to run to do it actually. So it's Lear and the Varbil here who's slowly moving in, forcing Oxygen to back off a bit.
30 seconds.
And time's ticking now for Team Solid, so we're gonna see how on the northern side actually we have Yuta starting things off, and Peanut there. And Lear, it's gonna be very hectic here around the uplink. As even TNS is joining the fray, they're trying to get frag. It's Dyspeptic and Ralph, and actually Paracord with 4 frags, and Ralph doing 3 of them. Reloading his gun, Ralph getting 4 kills there, but isn't enough. It's Oxygen. No, and in the end, Team Solid didn't have to do too much, but they managed to stay alive, and that's how you win in this game sometime. Ralph did with a really good job.
Pretty similar to the way we've seen other matches today play out, where when the 2 attacking teams are really passive and try and play off the other attacker's aggression, it sort of favors the defenders because they can sort of just hold back and let them, at that late game explosion when everyone pushes in, sort of that chaos, they can just like let things play out, you know?
Yeah, very interesting there, because you can see that if you look at scoreboard, you can see that Team Solid has a total of 6 frags, and that's the lowest on the entire server, while TNS has 15 frags in total. So they're very active on the kill feed, but they can't make it connect to round wins. They did win 1 round, but it's Team Solid who are very solid, I would say. They don't... You can't see them in the kill feed, but they get the most important kills, which is the last ones. And now they're gonna have a target on their back, and we can see that they're from GG3 Nergi here.
It's DG Energy.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, they're probably right. I just read into the name, actually reading into it. So GG Energy there. As we have Pericord here, who also, and primarily Ralph there, who really lighted up the scoreboard with 4 kills, but couldn't get the round win. And it's going to be a very tight angle here for TNS. They're crunched in behind both teams, taking some damage there from the nade. We have some kind of nade lineup here going on from Yellow Scrub. It's going to be interesting to see how that turns out. Meanwhile, we have Amistosa here leading the shot for Solid. Their play style is very passive, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Yeah, so looks like similarly we're gonna have Team Solid, there 3 people strong going in. It's gonna be greeted by Dyspeptic. How many can he get, if anyone at all? And it looks like it's Yellow Scrub nearby, and here are Dyspeptic holding the angle. Oxygen leading the way, spots the weapon. Gets the easy frag. Can he get the harder one? Hiding behind the wall there. Gets the second one. Deadwish helping out. And it's Deadwish there who doing it for TNS. So a good strong there. But that's good for Pericord, who has all 4 members alive. So on the spot 2 players with the recon camera. Time's ticking now for TNS. They are on the defensive side. Raf going in there while eating this ship damage over time effect. It looks very good for TNS there. Why aren't you trying, Pericord? I don't know, but TNS is gonna get the win. So, yeah, can you help me there, Seb? Why did Pericord go for it? Were they expecting Team Solid to do something?
Oh, maybe, yeah. Maybe they thought a Team Solid member was live and was hoping they would go in and cap it to extend the timer. Potential.
Yeah. They heard the fire shots probably, but it's hard to keep track because they don't see the kill feed like we do. So they are unaware of the how many members are alive in the respective enemy teams. So that's something to note, that we're spectating. We can see the frags, the players on the server. They can't see it. Unfortunately. Here's the nade lineup again. I guess Lur learned this from Shara there from the first semifinal, and it's Raf. But no, Oxygen kicks things off, and it's Varbil gets the frag as well, falling back. A very chaotic start here. Utah getting the frag, and in the end Varbil is holding this angle together with Lear, really focusing on Team Solid there, and that's very good for TNS. Almost in a way breaking through, and that's gonna be an easy frag for Oxygen as he tries to pick the corner. 1 member left for the defending team. Pericord, Salty, and the Oxygen are staying strong here for Solid. And on the other side of the map we have TNS, who's just been chilling basically, more or less. And getting naded out. Variable, nice neighbor there, but Dyspeptic cleaning out the Pericord team. But they don't fully know that, and as Uplink is alive, it looks very good for TNS here. So it's TNS and Team Solid who have gone off for the best start, so to say. Putting up a healing station next to the uplink there. Pinging the other players upstairs. It's Oxygen getting the first frag, evening it out 2 versus 3. Jumping into that vent, and you talked about that vent before. That can be a very sneaky position. You can see the uplink from there. And using the capturing the uplink. Getting the capture there with a secondary firing mode of the gun there. And now it's Team Solid. Time's ticking fast. What's gonna be the play there? They spot them nading. And someone's gonna have to jump on that uplink. Shoots the Mimic. Who's gonna be the person that's gonna jump on the Mimic? It's gonna be Yellow Scrub. And they get the Yellow Scrub. Salty there, coming out huge for his team. And it's Spedic needs to get on it. And it's Salty from that vent position. You talked about it in the first semi-final. It's coming up big again on the second one. That
Yeah, powerful position for sure.
Yeah, it seems like a very hard position to clear for the team that are going for the uplink there.
Yeah, they weren't really ready for it there. It's an interesting move by Paracord at the start of that round there. It's a risky play pushing out against one team like that, but of course it can pay off greatly. Like even if you suffer one casualty on your team and you manage to wipe the attacker, of course you're in very good position, but unfortunately didn't work out for them that time.
Yeah, and this looks very good now for Team Solid who are on match points. So they're gonna have a target on the back, and as a defensive team, I kind of like being a defensive team when you have the target on your back, because it feels that you're just gonna defend like normal basically. While you're on the attacking team, when you have match point, it feels like both teams can gather up on you more easily. But this means that it's Paracord or TNS who are gonna have to win this round, and we see that he's setting up the different recon cameras. Can't seem to connect it the way he wants to, and there's gonna be a wasted camera there. We'll see how much that pays off, but in the meanwhile we have Paracord working as a unit here, gonna get greeted by Salty, who's has placed his cameras hiding. Amistosa there just letting Salty tell him what's happening. And here we have the smoke, spots one. Amistosa there falls back a bit. Both teams are aware of their position. And Raph there. We have 9 seconds left of that smoke grenade. Going for the uplink, but the smoke dissipates and it's Salty there, who's getting killed by his teammates there from the nade. They try to defend the uplink, and that means that we also have a tactical shield here on Peanut, so we'll see how that plays out. Meanwhile, Oxygen is standing inside the smoke on side of the uplink. We have a great flank here coming in from Peanut Bear. Can't connect the shot, misses the double shot barrel shotgun. Now he gets the kill. Damages him, falls back, gets the kill eventually. And now it's all left to Verbal. Verbal versus Team Solid, but TNS is the uplink. That tactical shield coming in very handy. Damages them, but you need to kill them. Will they take? And it's gonna be Team Solid who wins the round. Seb, help me, what happened? It was so
very
intense.
Nice usage of the Fortress shotgun there. Yeah, I haven't seen much of that this tournament yet, but yeah, that's a very powerful double barrel shotgun, which has the, as you said, the tactical shield there as a secondary fire function. That just completely shields you, so that was a cool usage of that gun.
Yeah, very dominating match from Team Solid. They only lost 1 round in total to TNS, otherwise they won them all. So total of 4 rounds, they won 3 of them, and that means that we're actually gonna have the just like that, we're gonna have the finals being ready here. So I'm going back to the studio. Didn't expect a quick, that was the quickest match we ever had, I think.
Team Solid, sweeping it up.
Almost living up to the name, being very solid here.
Indeed.
Yeah, really just sweeping the floor out of everyone there. And if we take a look at the bracket now, we're going to see that we have the final roster here for the tournament. And that's going to be in the first semi-final where Koala coming through. A bit of an upset. Too many people in the Twitch chat. Boot Monkeys coming out of the second semi-final. And thirdly, we have Solid who just dominated from the get-go basically. Really dominating performance, winning 3 out of 4 maps in the third semi-final. Coming in, yeah, was that expected from you? You have a bit more insight than me into this, the players here.
Never expected, but yeah, they seemed very confident. Just looking by their plays, playing it slow, trying to gauge out how aggressive the other teams are and sort of get a feel for it, and then just closing rounds out. It was very Pretty surgical, you know? Just did well.
Yeah. A very good job there in introducing that double barrel shotgun. Missed the first shot, but then was managed to get the other 2 people when they were trying to take him out. So interesting to see different kind of weapons coming out in this tournament so far. So again, if you just joined us, we played 3 semifinals, and now we're gonna catch our breath a bit, get ready for the finals. You will be able to see in the countdown when we're gonna come back. So, any final words, Seb, before we head to break and then get ready for the finals?
I'm just shaking with excitement here.
Shaking with excitement for the first ever ALARA Prime community tournament.
Quivering.
Yeah. Can you call this the World Championship of ALARA Prime? Can we coin that term?
Well, close enough.
Will the winner here be able to claim that they're the best team in the world?
I suppose, though.
Yeah. Sure, well, and then we're going to have to have a break, and when we come back, we're going to find out who will win the best of 3 final. Also, which maps we're going to play. Actually, that's going to be very interesting. We're going to be alternating, so we're going to vote on which map we're going to start, and then we're going to alternate until we have a winner, basically. So, grab something to drink, get your popcorns ready for the final. We'll be heading to a short break.
Okay. 2 guys coming main. 3 guys coming main.
Securing the uplink. Frag out. Securing the uplink.
Two guys coming main. Three guys coming main.
Securing the uplink. Frag out. Hell yeah. Securing the uplink.
Hi and welcome back to the first ever ALARA Prime community tournament. My name is Joachim, I go by the alias Joe Awesome. With me I got Sebastian, aka Seb K, who's an
Hello.
ALARA Prime developer. We're in just about to start the final actually, in this first ever tournament, and we've had 3 semifinals before. We had Koala, who qualified the first one. We're gonna look at the bracket soon, but we had Koala win the first one. We have remind me, Sebastian, what was the second team? Boot Monkeys, who
Boot Monkeys,
advanced.
yes.
Yeah, and then Team Solid, who had the shortest match of the tournament. They won 3 out of 4 rounds, and then they just advanced after 15 minutes of game time. So, unlike the first match, that was almost 55 minutes long. Yeah, there's a varying match lengths depending on how well the other teams are playing. So, which team has stood up for you, Seb? You're the
It's
expert.
hard to disregard the almost clean sweeps Team Solid did there, but it'll be interesting to see. I mean, Koala's comeback from the first match was very impressive, so and Boot Monkey also did a very good job, so it'll be an interesting matching.
Yeah, and to make it clear, we can take a look at the brackets. The teams are ready, by the way. So, and how this works is about the 3 semifinals, as we just talked about. Koala, Boot Monkeys, and Solid won their respective 3 finals. Now we're gonna go into a best of 3. And kind of funny how I hear that you start the match because my computer fan just started lighting up. But we're playing on the 2 maps, Oasis and Reactor. How it works is that the teams are voting for which map they want, and for this one, we had Koala voted for Reactor, but Boot Monkeys and Team Solid voted for Oasis. So we're gonna start off on Oasis, we're gonna go to Reactor, then back to Oasis. If we need a 4th and deciding map, they're gonna re-vote again for which map's gonna be the favorite one. So let's jump into the in-game as we're gonna start things off here. And again, it's on Oasis. We have the yellow team, Koala, starting on the
Round
defense.
starts in 10 seconds.
Take it away, Seb. What can we expect here in the first round, do you think?
It'll be interesting to see. It looks like they are taking a position here where they're holding the high ground and basically heaven and hell here on the sides, and they've walled off some of the
Return
back
to the
parts.
uplink
So
transmission.
we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, and if you're new to the game, we have a 1 defending team. This time it's going to be called Koala, and 2 attackers. Blue and red in this. It's Boot Monkeys that are on the blue side, Team Solid on the red side, and Koala on the yellow team. And they need to capture the uplink within a certain time in order to win the round. And then you, by winning multiple rounds, then you can win the cycle, and then after that win the match. So it's a bit of like it's a 1 versus 1, but also with another team in there. So we have seen pretty interesting dynamics here. And we're gonna see how this final is gonna play out. We're gonna play on Oasis first, following Tesserin here. We can also see that we have Oxygen and Team Solid using. I think that they are the team that have the best recon camera usage. I don't know what you think about that, Seb, but I think that they've been
Yeah, I
using
think I agree.
the cameras really well and have lineups how to set those up. So they seem to be using that a lot more. And for Team Koala, we have Cans1, Namon, Lasky, and Tesserin. Over on the Boot Monkey side, we have TV, Bio, Vattis, and Veiru. And Salty, Amistosa, Oxygen, and Pinap are on the Team Solid side. And they have 30 seconds now to take the uplink here, so we're gonna see how TV is gonna get greeted. Spots 2, nades out to buy himself time. Knows that there are multiple people smoking and putting out so a lot of action, and that's very good for the defending team here. They're just leaning back. Meanwhile, we have Bio here with a really nice. He's getting trapped though, so they know his position now. He thought it was sneaky. He's getting blind. He's gonna get killed easily, and with kills left on our Vader Satis are filling up the scoreboard. But this is really good for Koala. 8 seconds left. All they need to do is stop the capture of the uplink. They're running through the fire. Gets to 1. And defends the uplink. Good job by Koala there. Hectic first round, Seb. Help me, what happened?
Yeah, that was very nice. Koala, it looked like they were, their plan was probably to funnel the 2 attacking teams. We saw some other matches as well use the strategy, but they walled off the one of the sides entrance to the side, so they only were facing the other attacking team. So sort of funneling those together and making those fights. So
and very interesting here if you take a look at the map video that we talked about. Koala actually wants Reactor. We haven't seen them play Reactor. They prefer Reactor, and they're starting things off with a defensive win here on Oasis. So that's very interesting. Noteworthy as well is that Team Solid voted for Reactor in their first match and now have swapped to Oasis. While Bootmonk is just like Oasis all out. So it's going to be interesting to see Koala here on Reactor later. And we are very fast pusher from the southern side. All 5 units going to get greeted by TV here and Bayou. And we have this same setup we've seen before. TV. Bayou there seeing 2 enemies and falling back. Getting help from all teammates actually. Meanwhile this is happening, we have Salty here sneaking around, and Solid isn't that team that's known for many kills, but they get the last ones, and those are the ones that matter the most. And we saw this breacher detonations gonna happen on this wall there for Solid. They're taking their time though. Meanwhile on the other side we have Koalas here who are getting Bayou, doing a great defense there, and then Bayou again maybe. No, Kansi and Lasky returns to favor, and it's Lasky who's really lighting up the scoreboard, making it all yellow and nice for Koalas. 3 members alive, Bootmonkeys have 1 member alive, and again, typical Team Solid fashion, barely getting any kills, but they have all 4 members alive.
Deploying recon camera.
And they have 35 seconds here. And it's Bootmonkeys with 1 defender in Veiro who's shivering in his boots now as he's hearing the enemy team coming closer and closer. Team Solid making their push now. But it's so much utility being used here on the uplink. Team Solid captured uplink and Veiro gets first kill. Now we just need to chill, I think. And Tessering gets it as well, so we have... Again, we have 2 members of Veiro. And Kansi here gets the frag. 1 versus 1 now. Shooting his own mimic. Thinks he's faking. Not! He's not faking, and it's Team Solid. All he needs to do is capture the uplink. And he does. And in typical Team Solid fashion, not lighting up the scoreboard, but managing to get the win.
Yeah, very nicely done there. Good patience on the Oxygen's part at the end.
Yeah, and again, they're not getting many kills, but they're getting the ones that matter, the last ones. And now they're on the defensive side. And it's a bit harder to play passive as a defender, because teams are coming to you, unlike when you're an attacker. But so far we have Koala and Team Solid who have started things off here. And what I like about Team Solid is the use of camera, and I think that they have a really good, solid, word pun intended, defense by using those cameras. And here we have Bootmonkeys here going as a 5-strong unit together on the southern side, taking it a bit easy. They might get greeted here by Koalas here, who are also running up, so they're very close to each other. So if you follow here, we see that this 3 unit of Koala here are sending out a decoy. Does the decoy makes step noises when they run?
They do, yes.
Yeah. So those steps there should have been heard there by Bootmonkeys who are very close, and it looks like Satis is aware of their position. Tesserun here, all alone, and there we go. Bayou getting the first kill, getting traded by Lasky there. Lasky is someone who's been really lighting up the scoreboard with kills together with Kansi and Namon. Getting another one, Kansi and Lasky. We talked about them, they got on the kill. Gonna heal up now. But again, in true Team Solid fashion, they're not doing anything fancy, but they're all alive. Veiro doing the job. and getting the kill. And here we have Satis is scoping down the side on the other side, but this only favors Team Solid.
30
That's what
seconds.
makes this very interesting. They hear him. Gets the frag. They cans one. Or cans one. I don't know. Yeah, I'll see. Figure out that name.
Cancel, I think.
Cancel. Yeah.
15.
Cancel. And it's tenser in here. Pin up that with his tried and tested barrel shotgun. They're really doing work with it. And they're playing so passive, but it's working out for them.
Cycle.
We have a different kind of like stylistic matchup here, I think, with Team Solid winning the cycle here. And that's what matters.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Koala and Boot Monkeys just sort of got caught up in each other, pushing the same side there, and just duked it out.
Yeah. And again, they're not doing much on the scoreboard, Team Solid, but they're winning the rounds, and that's kind of what matters. So I don't know what kind of adjustments do you think that they need to do now? It looks like
Round start.
I think so
they're
far
gonna do a
it's on
hard
the,
push now.
Yeah, it's probably on the other teams and to sort of push Solid or to you know force their hand.
Yeah, exactly. Because we have the round starting here.
Intercept the uplink transmission.
Team Solid setting up their... Talked about setup, and worth noting is we're gonna have Ox and potential player replacement between the matches here. Oxygen has a personal matter and needs to attend, so he's gonna be replaced by another place. We'll see how that affects the dynamic going into Reactor, or if it opts to stay. Maybe it's like, we'll just win this quickly, and then I'll get going. So we'll see. But they are allowed to use substitutes in this first ever ALARA Prime community tournament. Naymond here going all the way around, and again this passive start usually leads to a very chaotic ending. We can see here Team Solid and Zveir on the other side getting things off, and it was that lone player in the bottom, and now Tesserin has 12, not 12, he has four solid plays coming behind him. He needs to at least get a clean frag and be able to run away. Does he know that they're there? On the other side of that wall there, he hears them breaching it. So he knows that there's someone there. Here's one player jumping out. Gets the first one. Can't get the second one with the spray, but at least he's gonna be able to call out to his teammate that there's a lot of people going here. And it seems like Koala wants to focus Team Solo here. Team Solid, I mean.
15.
Time's ticking though, so that favors them. And now we have Boot Monkeys making a player and TV.
Yellow team now
And
controls the
we
uplink.
talked about this chaotic Koala. They need to get on the uplink. They're gonna sit on uplink. And looks like they're getting it. And just like that, Boot Monkeys win the round there with a passive slow push and then just swarming the uplink.
Yeah, very close there. If there was a tiny little bit of a second left, then Koala would have taken it there.
Yeah, and how it works is that if you start capturing the uplink, even though the time is run over, as long as you're staying on that capture, you can still capture it. And that's what happened here. So if they would have gotten the kill on the one that was capturing, they would have won the round there.
Round starts in 10 seconds.
We'll see if we have this nade lineup from any of the teams. We saw that in the first match.
Defend the uplink transmission.
And now we have a fast play here from TV, scoping down with his rifle down there. Getting spotted, so he knows that they know where he is. So he's just gonna fall back and find another angle, putting up a healing station. Deploying the healing station there so his teammate can utilize that. Gonna fall back to that same position, a similar position actually. Meanwhile, we have Koala's really slow playing this one. And it's still, even though they won a round called Koala, the first one, they've lost that round
Deploying
point
recon camera.
with Boot Monkey's previous win. And here we have something interesting here. We have Peanab expecting some sort of flank, and he knows, or he doesn't know, but if he would know, we would still stay on that angle. So we have Koala here going all the way around the map, but it's Oxygen who's starting something, getting TV there. So it's gonna be Satis here. Wants to peek that angle. In the meanwhile, we have Cans one here coming around.
30
Here's the
seconds.
shot. 30 seconds for Boot Monkey. So we're gonna see Team Solid make a move here. And does he hear the steps?
Red team now controls the uplink.
And they control the uplink there with the secondary fires. We'll get into that after the round, but Salty there, more or less on the uplink there,
50.
in the smoke. And they're capturing the uplink there.
Yellow team now controls the
And it's
uplink.
Koala back in the control. Cans one falling. And it's Naymond here who smoking the gets Salty. And now it's Naymond 1 versus 1.
Yellow
and
team won the round.
Cold Koala wins that very hectic round. Not a 1 versus 1, 2 versus 1. And it's so intense when all the players are diving on the uplink there in the end.
Yeah, they held it really well. They held it really like quite far away from the site itself and just let the other players dive in and sort of duke it out. And then they came in and just sort of cleaned it up afterwards. It was nicely done.
Yeah, and we have it says that you are attacking, but we're actually following the Teams Solid who are defending this
Round
round.
starts in 10 seconds.
So Team Solid here are setting up the defense, and we highlighted their usage of the cameras before, and that's why I think they are the strongest defensive team we have. I would say just because of the usage of the cameras.
Yeah, I agree. They have a lot of information, everyone.
Yeah, and they really like to slow play it, and with the cameras, like here right now we see Salty spotting TV and bio here, so with that he gets a lot of information. We see the adjustments being made there. Checking the other area. Oxygen, you can see both of them are staring down cameras. Solid getting another information, it's gonna spot another player, 2 more Bootmoggers player. And that's here, see Amistosa, all of them are using cameras. And they're getting so much information, and wall spanks going through, taking some team damage there at the spray down the wall. Naymond getting salted there, so even though if you look down the camera, you need to get the kills as well. TV. And they're kind of ganging up here on Team Solid a bit. Unintentionally perhaps, but...
Sending a decoy.
Oh, Peanut there with his double barrel shotgun, something you highlighted a lot. And here,
Capturing the uplink.
TV.
Blue team now controls the uplink.
Yeah, so we have the uplink. Oh, that tactical sheet shooting the feet. But completely blinded for so long. And we also have Tester in here, but TV getting the frag now. It's 2 for Boot Monkeys, 1 for Cold Koalas. Here we have Amistosa getting the uplink, capturing it, but can he live? No. It's all up to Tesurin here.
Blue team now controls
5 seconds. You need to dive on it. Do the hacking drone. Oh.
Blue team
What did he try to do there with the hacking drone?
So in order to hack a gadget or an uplink, you need line of sight of it. So that smoke was blocking the line of sight, not letting him, not letting the hack.
Yeah, so what he wanted to do, what the smoke was about to fade, and then basically with the smoke fading, he wanted to hack the uplink and capture it that way. Yeah, and so far it's Boot Monkeys and Solid here who are really showing up. We also need to remember that Koala wanted to play Reactor, so we're gonna have that on the second match in this best of 3. And unlike normal best of 3s, it's actually first to 2, so we can go up to 4 maps here.
defend the uplink transmission.
I guess you could call it best of 4 almost, if that makes sense. And here we have Boot Monkeys, who I feel starting to adapt a bit to the Team Solid playstyle. But now, again, a very passive starting from Team Solid. We highlighted them as the best defensive team. They couldn't get win there. I really like the way they utilize the camera though and getting information. But you just need to connect with the shots as well. Devour here doesn't know that there's two, or probably expects it, but doesn't know it that there are two Koala's player there on the high ground. Has his teammate Bio with him. Shots are being fired. Flash is coming through. Where 3-part affairs, Oxygen kicks things off from the get-go, and on the other side of the Tensurin there, here's all the action. Here's the player running around. So they're aware of that there's some enemies there. I'm gonna breach this wall, but we get greeted by another one. So now we're gonna see how they're gonna defend this. We have this similar setup here.
30 seconds.
Time's ticking though. Salty diving on the uplink, getting spammed. Can't connect the shot. Oxygen getting the frags though. Oxygen getting the frags again, but out of bullets, so he can't do anything. So it's Cans one, and now Boot Monkeys are joining the fray. It's down to Salty and Peanut Bear. Salty, Peanut Bear, and Salty. They just need to defend it. TV is on it to capture it, but they control the uplink again. It's gonna be Team Solid there who gets it in the end. A very chaotic start with Koala there being the first defender, and then Boot Monkeys coming in, and similar fashion, Solid has a really good timing when he knows to strike.
Some unfortunate confusion there at the end, I think. Boot Monkeys had the uplink capped with a hacking dart, and then I think one of the players accidentally shot it off, removing their cap and letting Solid take the round.
Round starts in 10 seconds.
Yeah, and that's easy for us to see, because but for him, we didn't have the same clear information. But again, yeah, it's hard in the heat of the moment. And here we have Boot Monkeys
Defend the uplink
placing up
transmission.
cameras. But yeah, a bit of an unfortunate to say that. And this angle I haven't seen. It looks where Satis is playing behind that little wall there. This, I don't know what this corner, I don't know what to call it, but meanwhile again a passive setup here for Boot Monkeys, or Team Solid, who are match point. So they should expect, and you can see how passive they're playing, just holding the angles. They know that they're even playing with cameras, or not even, they're playing with cameras now as the attacking team, and they're expecting the teams to go for them.
Enemy spotted.
Yeah, and
Enemy spotted.
this is where the macro study comes in there. How are you going to play this, knowing that Team Solid are match pointer? And you know where they spawn, so they know that they spawn at the top right. And that's where we can see Koala here going around the southern side here to flank around the
30 seconds.
Team Solid team. And they're being led by Canswan and Neyman. They're almost ignoring the uplink. Because if Boot Monkeys win this, it means that they still play around. And here we have Salty.
15.
Two important frags there.
Gas out.
And with the healing station, he can heal up. And Bio taking down Salty. Bio taking down Amistosa. And we have frags going left and right. In the end, Boot Monkeys win the round though. So again, these like passive starts, and it's all chaos from there. Whew.
Yeah, just a little bit too passive there, but yeah, they were. Solid had a good start there. Couldn't close it in though, unfortunately.
Yeah. And this means now that we both have Boot Monkeys and Solid on match point.
You know, in a similar position as the first match.
Yeah, exactly. Koala was in this exact same position, and then they started winning because the other team started focusing on themselves. And what would you do here as Boot Monkeys and Team Solid? And we have Team Solid on the defense, by the way, and we highlighted their defensive prowess.
Defend the uplink
Yeah.
transmission.
Oh, definitely. I think Team Solid should just keep doing what they're doing, honestly, and see how aggressive
Yeah.
Boot Monkeys want to be, you know.
Yeah, and they're very aggressive. They're moving very fast with 4 players there. 3 players there. Almost at the uplink. Maybe they're anticipating that
Decoy.
they know that they should play passive, therefore they won't. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's very possible for sure.
Yeah. But now they're making their presence known here. And again, if Koalas don't win this, that means that we're gonna have a first round winner in this best of 3. Clearing out the corners. Pina with his tried and tested shotgun. We've seen it before. Tactical shield and shotgun, being a bit annoying there. But it's gonna fall down. Gets the shot off there though. And here from... we have Bootmonks, they're breaching now, and they're making their push. It's actually all up to Kansi. If Kansi can't make it win, they will automatically lose this match. Because they need to win. And now it's... he gets the uplink. That's the first thing. He falls down, so that means that we should... I'm saying should, because it's not 100% out of the realm that Bootmonk is... Koalas now. And all like that. Southern Bootmonk is win this map. By being very passive there when Koalas came out ahead. And we can see again, Bootmonk is taking on the first map. Seb, I'm gonna need your help to break that down. What happened there?
Yeah, well done from Bootmonks. They played well. They you can look at the kills out here. They scored a lot of kills. Their aim was on point, and you know, were able to call out rounds. So very impressive.
Yeah, and Koalas didn't really have a say at all. They won the first round, but after that they were not really doing that much. So it felt like it was Bootmonks and Team Solid here who were fighting for that Oasis win at least. But because it's a best of 3, we're gonna now go into Reactor. This is a map that Koalas actually want. They wanted it in the first semifinal. They didn't get it. So we'll see what they have in store for Reactor. We're gonna take a small break before the next map. See you then.
Okay. 2 guys coming main. 3 guys coming main.
Securing the uplink. Frag out.
Hell yeah.
Securing the uplink.
Two guys coming main. Three guys coming main.
Securing the uplink. Frag out. Hell yeah. Securing the uplink.
Hi and welcome back to the first ever ALARA Prime. Sorry, the ALARA Prime first ever community tournament. My name is Joachim. I'm joined by an ALARA Prime developer in the form of Sebastian. Seb K.
Hello.
We saw the first map in the final, where we saw Boot Monkeys coming out ahead. A bit, not I don't want to say surprisingly, but we were talking so much about Team Solid that they kind of got forgotten and then they managed to win. What did you think about the first game?
It was very interesting. We saw a lot of slow playing for sure. A lot of the attacking teams were very careful with their movement, and sometimes that cost them the round. So it'd be interesting to see if that keeps up.
Yeah, it's a fine line between passive and missing, being too passive, so to say. So it's a sweet spot timing there where you want to be just enough passive, so to say. But let's take a look at the bracket and have a little look-see for that. And we can see that in the first semifinal, we had Devour influence and Koala, while Koala came out ahead. We also had Boot Monkeys, Vision X, and Super Saiyans, where Boot Monkeys won that semifinal. And in the semifinal 3, that was the shortest match, we had Solid dominating, winning the match in 15 minutes to claim their final spot. We also could see in the final now, where Boot Monkeys took the first game out of in this best of 3 series, and we started off on Oasis, and now we're gonna go to Reactor. What's interesting here is that they voted which map they wanted to start on, and Koala voted for Reactor. So it's gonna be interesting to see what they have up their sleeves. So let's jump into the game, and we're gonna have Koala on the defensive side on Reactor. So Reactor, tell us a bit about that map, Sebastian.
Very some cool possibilities here you can do. We saw some teams earlier this tournament who were using walls to again funnel the attacking teams together on this side. We'll see if they maybe do this time, or if they put up some other setup.
Yeah, clear point of contention seem to be, I'm drawing it right now, that little hallway with the breachable wall next to it. That seems to be a very important controlling point for the defending team, and they do various kind of setups there. So now we can see Tesserin here looking through the cameras, and he's kind of hopefully spots some players, and we have Neyman there holding that similar angle. So here we have Tesserin spotting the players, pinging and getting ready for that kind of position. So we're gonna see some kind of like crossfire setup here. Meanwhile, on the other side we have Team Solid playing it slow, like usual, but they're moving in from the eastern side here, utilizing cameras as well. A Tesserin here spotting the Boot Monkeys players while holding that point of contention that we're drawing, that little small angle that means so much for the teams. And it's Tesserin, Neymond, and are gonna hold that angle and play around it in different ways. Meanwhile, on the eastern side, a slow and steady Team Solid move around. It seems like the Boot Monkeys are giving away on that hallway. And it's gonna be interesting to see Koala see what they kind of like tactic have, because they picked this map. We have the wall being breached here. See Neymar there on the spots one. Gets the very easy frag. That's a good position by him on this little high ground angle. And it's as Tesserin with him, so Neymar down to 1 HP. 36 left on the uplink, so we're gonna see some action coming on there. And it's gonna be TV who responds on Lasky. Peanut here. But Oxygen, someone's been fragging really well for Solid throughout the match. Sneaking around below. Above him has 2 Boot Monkeys player. Can't get the kill and cancel. Yeah, and they control the uplink. I call Koala, so desperate measurements, but Boot Monkeys get the uplink, but can't get the frag, and it's TV here who are getting the frag, but Amistosa, she's in a 1 versus 2. 1 versus 3. Gets the first. Good job. Can't get the second one. Bio finishes it off, and all they need to do is capture the uplink. They don't know this, and if they don't, well, they do, so let's not talk about it. Bootmuggers win the first round. They won the first map. Seems like they're off to a good start.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how much of a target they have on their head now, because obviously all the teams know that they have, you know, if they win this match, they win the finals, you know, so...
Yeah, we talked about it a bit in the break when we're how there's like this a macro strategy inside the match just for the match alone, but now we have a macro strategy for the match series where they have an even bigger target on their back, and we're gonna be interested to see how the other teams adapt. Obviously, they can't communicate to each other, the other teams. That's not allowed, but they have almost like a gentleman agreement to take out boot monkeys in some way because it benefits them both. Salty here. And we have Amistosa. She's moving up to this very action-packed small little corridor here that's being held by Veiru, who, when Veiru gets contact, is gonna get help from one of his teammates. So I think Veiru is gonna hunt for the contact, and it's either gonna be TV or it's gonna be Satis here who's gonna help out when Veiru gets contact here in this small hallway. It's hard to breach through this one. Meanwhile, on the total other side, we have Koala here moving as a unit on the southern side, almost looking like they're aiming for Team Solid, expecting them to go through this hallway. And it was Koala's here. We see now they're pushing through this breachable wall, close to the uplink. Can't get this there to work, and now Koala is moving in there, coming up behind them. It's gonna be a matter of timing here because you have Amistosa. She's anticipating it.
30 seconds.
Together with Peanut there. Can't kill Veiru as well, and it's looking good for the boot monkeys all of a sudden. Amistosa there, getting the uplink. I think Salty there, can't get the kill. Amistosa left for Team Solid. But now here comes Koala's here. They're in a 3 versus 4, so they need to get this uplink. Need to jump up on it. Gonna connect. Can they survive to take it? No! Cycle goes to boot monkey. There's a solid defense. No one dying on the boot monkey side. They play that almost flawlessly.
Yeah, interesting move by Koala to go around the map there and on almost third-party team.
Yeah, it felt very odd. It felt like I would have understood that if they did that to boot monkeys to some extent, but doing that to Team Solid felt very a bit not what to be expected, because they should focus their efforts on boot monkeys. They're only 2 rounds away from winning the entire match series, the entire final, the entire tournament. So they should have a big target on the back, and we'll see how they can adapt now. And we have the southern defensive side this time, and it's a highlighted defensive Team Solid who likes to utilize those cameras. Here's the setting up the parameters, using his patented double-barrel shotgun. And I'm gonna ask a noob question. What's the name of that shotgun? I've never used it myself.
It's the Fortress.
The Fortress, yeah.
Shotgun actually has an interesting ability to, if you aim down sights with it, it gets very accurate, so you can actually get some nice long-range shots as well.
Okay. So it's like a hybrid between a shotgun and a sniper. Scans one, gets the first one. And it's actually doing a really good job eliminating boot monkeys. It's only Veiru, and you can't expect too much from him. But it looks really good for boot monkeys as... Sorry, for Team Solid on the defensive out. Haven't needed to do anything. And now there falls Veiru after Tesserin picks up the frag. Gonna heal up. 3 versus 4 now. Team Solid they have 45 seconds, a lot of time to work with. And they're just almost all of them staring down cameras. A very good camera presence, and we have Peanut here with his barrel shotgun. They're gonna breach that wall. He hears it, hides behind the corner. Using every sitting there with the tactical sheet and the shotgun in the corner. Can't get the kill though, so it's the 3 versus 3 now. Oxygen here, and Amistosa joining the fray as well. It's all up to Lasky. It's gonna be very tricky for him. He's gonna dive the uplink. Can't get it. Oxygen gets the frag, and Team Solid are on the board.
Yeah, so Koala doing their duty there and wiping out boot monkeys.
Yeah, they're the chores.
Indeed.
Yeah, they're doing the dishes. So let's see how they did the dirty work. And now it's Koala's defending here, and it becomes this almost like leveling game where Koala's maybe thinking like, okay, Team Solid, it's your turn to take them out. But we'll see if they do that or not. We have Satis and Boot Monkeys here. Going all the way around. Not being interested at all, it seems, in the uplink. Meanwhile, we have Lasky here. Sorry. Cans one, and this is a good angle. We have Neymond here is gonna make contact. Gets the contact. Too bad that Cancel didn't stay on the same position. And now they've gained some ground here. Team Solid. While this is happening, we have a little bit of a long flank here from Veiru and Satis, who are gonna try to go almost all the way around, but it's TW here starts things off with a kill on on Team Solid. Salty here, and Cancel can hear this very well, and there's a flank that's not succeeding here. Neymond and Oxygen gonna get greedy by Neymond. Falls back though, thinks that someone is there, but as Cancel will hold that angle instead, and probably on the contact. It's actually that flank we talked about earlier. It's that's gonna pay off for
30 seconds.
And there to spot him as well. So he knows that they're Oxygen, and time's just ticking. Koala doesn't really have to do anything. Facet is doing the work for them. Now they know that one place at least coming, so we're gonna have that swing. Cancel is gonna get the contact,
15.
and then Neymond is gonna fire, frag out. Now they're doing the opposite bait, where Neymond is baiting out for Cancel. They hear the other one. Good job by Cancel. They're getting the 2 last frags. Cool setup there.
Nice.
We've seen it before, and it pays off.
Yeah, boot monkeys probably using the knowledge they have that Team Solid likes slow playing to their advantage there to do the full loop around and get them from behind.
Yeah, they're around the world flank, and
Yeah.
it's a sudden uplink now, and it's look now the boot monkeys, they're still in have a target on their back, because they only need 2 wins to win the entire thing.
Round starts in 10 seconds.
And they're on the defensive side. We'll see how they play this out. It seems like they're doing a classical duo setup with 2 different kind of like plays playing on each other. We have a boost here,
Defend the uplink transmission.
TV being boosted here. See how this angle looks a bit disgusting to be to peak. We'll see if we can get the frag out. Creative boost here. Bio doing the work of boosting TV here. TW. And slow playing is the name of the game so far. And we have Neymond here on the totally different side of the map, while the rest of the players are focusing on the southern side. And here we have the Viro and the Satis setup. So when Viro gets the contact, Satis will swing, or vice versa. So they're gonna play off each other, and meanwhile we have this boost. We'll see if it pays out. A very good movement here though from Oxygen.
Attacking here.
Says he wants to attack in there, but I don't believe him. I don't think he will do it.
Deploying recon camera.
Meanwhile, on the southern side,
30 seconds.
see they dropped their boost, and now they're
Sending a decoy.
focusing on that southern area. 3. Oh, now that someone's there, sending a decoy. They didn't shoot that decoy though. Looks very interesting that I'm smoking off there. TV is getting the first kill with that sniper rifle. It's Salt who's gonna fall the victim, and while this is happening, Name and Lasky are missing the entire action because they're coming from nowhere and they need to get on the uplink. Capturing it.
Blue team won the round.
But it's boot monkeys. They didn't capture it in time.
And they didn't get it. Oh my god.
And now it's gonna be very interesting to see how this plays out.
Yeah, the
Because
chaos of
Boot-
that last round, almost the worst possible outcome for the two other teams there.
Yeah.
Bootmark is now 1 round away from winning.
And they are gonna opt to defend. I got that right. They're gonna opt to defend on the southern side. And this will be very interesting. This can be the last round. Do you think it's gonna be the last round?
Who knows? Who knows? It'd be very interesting. I think one thing that could be cool to see, we're seeing a lot of long rounds and slow plays. I think if a team were to push really hard and manage to actually take a site and just insta-cap it, due to how shorter the attacker timers are, they might be able to just steal around that way.
Yeah, especially if the defending team has an outpost of 2 people far away. It's very hard for them to get back, and the time will not be in this favor. And we're gonna be following, obviously, the team that has the match point, and it's gonna be Veiru here in setting up a drill camera and just positioning himself very passively here. And maybe you talked about that fast push, and we might see that now from Koala here, who's doing that. We saw that on the first map as well, that they're the Hail Mary push, you could say. And they're gonna go really fast, all 4 players and a mimic, so 5 players almost. Deploying a recon camera, getting some information, can't see anything. And are they gonna dive on the uplink? They spot it, and they ping it. And here we have TW with the sniper scoping down, so he's gonna get the first contact here, I think. And it's actually Veiru who gets the frag. 1 frag closer to winning the entire thing. Veiru again. And Veiru there doing work. Satis as well. Eliminating Cold Calls. Now it's starting to team solid. 4 versus 3 here. So they have the man advantage. And they haven't done too much this round. So they're full healthy. Has a lot of utility. They know that someone is there. It's Veiru. Low HP. Needs to get help from his teammate Satis. They're both very low. 9 and 13 respectively. And they get the full TW.
15.
Now it's all up to Veiru and Satis here. Can they get the win? 2 versus 4. 10 seconds. Solid gets kills. All down to Satis. Not gonna do it. Team Solid denies the tournament win.
Good work, Team Solid. Yeah, I like Koala's spirit there at the start of pushing in aggressively, but then they got sort of crowd controlled by the Hellfires, firewalls, and got sort of stuck.
Yeah, it was a very aggressive push there. Almost like a Hail Mary to some sort. And now it's, again, it's a peculiar position for Koala. They haven't strung many rounds in. Only 1, actually. No, 2. 1 per map. And I don't know what they're gonna do. It feels like a 2-way battle between Boot Monkeys and Solid.
Yeah, Koalas have been doing a lot of... they've been, they spent 1 round just making sure Boot Monkeys didn't win, and like been doing a lot of that stuff. So we'll see if they can start closing someone in.
Yeah.
As well.
And they have the most amount of frags out of all the teams, but that's not how you win. Necessarily need to be objective focused, and it's now we have Boot Monkeys doing a fairly fast push, and this contested northern area, we talked about it before, this little hallway there with the breachable wall. And now Koalas are going all the way around here. 4 strong. They either seem to be playing very fast or very slow. no in between. So now they're going all the way around, and they're gonna get greeted by Boot Monkeys here. 2 boot monkey players just around the corner. TW. Oh, surely can't leave. Oh, he gets the frag though and falls back. And using the utility, spamming through the wall now. So they know that there's more than one there. Maybe they're expecting the entire team, and I wonder what Team Solid's gonna do. They're on the defensive side, so they're happy to hear this. That the gunfire going off. And it's almost like a gentleman agreement, like, no, we need to stop Team Solid. They are defending, and they're all going all the way around. It's Oxygen and Salty here.
Gas out.
15.
We have Bio here on that high ground, a strong position. Not high ground, but just below the uplink. Name on there, getting penal. The time's ticking very fast though. Bio on the uplink, can he get it? Yes, he can. And Boot Monkeys, within the span of 3 seconds, just get the round win there. And they're back on match point and match series point in this first ever ALARA Prime tournament. What happened there, Seb? Help me. A lot of action going on.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, they just used their utility very well. Good usage of gravitons there, getting a kill with that. And then just managing to get the cap there at the end. Pretty impressive.
And can Team Solid rely on Cold Koalas doing their dirty work again? Or is it Team Solid's time to be a bit more aggressive?
Intercept the uplink transmission.
Yeah, and this contested hallway and breachable wall comes into play again. And it's gonna be Cancel and the Naymond who's on the duty to defending this pierceable wall. They also have a camera there. That camera feed got lost, but they still got the info. And they've poised up with 3 players. And meanwhile, on the other side, Team Solid are lurking around. 4 strong, standing in the corner. I wonder if it becomes a meta where the defending team just starts shooting, so that they think that they're fighting.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, it could be an interesting play. We'll see. Anyhow, a bit of a, I don't want to say stalemate, but a bit of a standstill at least. And their name on shooting that wall bang and see if he can connect some shots, but no. And here we have Lasky with TW just in front of him, but the other high ground, and TW there getting fired there, but and Solid Satis and TW doing worker, and this is very good for Cold Koalas here, who's, when the dust have settled, there's 1 play left on each team, and Cold Koalas are just happy campers waiting, getting their second round, and getting on the board again is very important for them. Naymond here. They can't push through. That's a... They don't have any time. And it's gonna be Cold Koalas there.
Yellow team won the round.
Getting a freebie, I would always call it. They didn't really have to do too much with that one.
Indeed. Yeah, Boot Monkey's using the map there. They got mid control, which Team Solid sort of abandoned and then used that against them. But then they just didn't expect the elevated position there. Assaulting.
Yeah. And you can see Cold Koalas there firing at the teammates in the spawn. You don't do any damage. They're just doing it for fun. And
Round
now
starts in 10 seconds.
it's still, remember, still Boot Monkeys on match point. They haven't lost their match point just because Cold Koalas won that round. So if Boot Monkeys win this one, it's going to be all over for the enemy team and also the
Reloading.
attacking team. We'll see now. In true Cold Koala style, they're working as 1 unit. And it's Team Solid who lost a member. And this is looking, I don't want to call it too early, but it's looking kind of good for Boot Monkeys here.
Yeah,
Especially
definitely.
now when Koalas are taking out the Team Solid members. Yeah, but they still have 4 strong team called Koalas. Smoking up the... Or using the utility up there, healing up his teammate. Smoke there on the uplink, and that's means that they need to respect the possibility. Stat is gonna sit inside the smoke, seeing that no one is on the uplink, waiting for the place to dive into it. Hear the steps. Smoke fades, get the first kill. Can't get the second. And meanwhile, this is happening. Peanut is coming around.
15.
He almost hesitated shooting there. Maybe it doesn't want a bad Boot Monkeys to win. They're killing each other. Oh, it's looking very good for Boot Monkeys though.
And there we go.
There we go. Just like that, with the help of the other team, Boot Monkeys have won the reactor match, and meaning that they won the final series of that. A bit unexpected
dominant,
last round. Is that? Can I say that?
Yeah, I agree. I'm not sure. Koala pushing Team Solid there at the very start for a bit, confusing me. But yeah, I mean that entire match, Boot Monkeys felt like they were quite far ahead. It was basically the other two teams were just keep trying to stop them. They kept getting that match point. You know?
Yeah, instead of going for the win, they went to they played not to lose almost in some odd way, and that was a. That last round was very odd, because they didn't have to do anything at all, basically. They just sat there and held the uplink and defended uplink, and then suddenly there were only 2 players left, and they didn't have to do a lot to do it. So, but we can't take anything away from Boot Monkeys. They played a very dominating finals after a closer. I think the semifinal was closer for them even, but they played very well, and congratulations to them to being the, I don't want to say world champion of ALARA Prime, but they can probably claim themselves to be the best team out there now. I think
I guess
if
so.
you win the only tournament, that you should be able to claim that you're the best team out there. So good job, Boot Monkeys. And that was Satis, Veiru, Bio, and TW that made up that roster. So before we look at the bracket, and we're gonna see. We can look at the bracket. I haven't updated it, but we all know that Boot Monkeys won in the end. So we had a semifinal, one where best of one, where Koala managed to pull through. Second semifinal, Boot Monkeys won their match in convincing fashion. Super Saiyans was kind of close, but they were the stronger team in that one. Semifinal 3, we had Solid, North Shield, and Pericord, where Solid won in 15 minutes or something insanely fast. And in the finals, it was very dominating fashion from Boot Monkeys. Solid had a say on Oasis, but when we came to Reactor, they never really felt close to winning. They were just trying to stop Boot Monkeys from winning, either if it was called Koala or Solid. And if you just play not to lose, then you're gonna lose eventually, because you need to play to win. So congratulations to Boot Monkeys for winning the first ever ALARA Prime tournament.
Yeah, congratulations. Very big.
Did you learn something for future playtest now, Seb? Some nade lineups, perhaps?
Yeah, I'm stealing that nade for sure on Oasis.
Yeah.
That's
Who do you want to be on the receiving end in the?
Oh, I have some people in the office.
Oh, you have some people, yeah.
Yeah, in mind.
Yeah. Again, congratulations to Boot Monkey winning the first ever ALARA Prime tournament and the first ever community tournament. Before sending it away. Yeah, and thanks for everybody who've been watching. And we had a lot of questions about future tournaments. This was our first pilot run. We have a lot of learnings for this, like with the games and maps, and also the broadcast as a whole, because it's the first time we've ever done a tournament like this. So take our learnings and then join our Discord, because there you're gonna hear about future tournaments. If you don't want to join our Discord, you can follow us on Twitter as well. And Ussen is gonna be spamming this in the chat. 100%. Thanks for everybody who's watching. Thanks for Ussen for being a tournament admin and community manager, and thank you to you, Seb K, for being the expert that I needed.
The expert.
Yeah, the at least compared to me, at least. So
thank you for casting.
Oh yeah, of course. Thank you so much, and producing.
Thanks
and a lot
around.
of other stuff. Yeah, it was very fun doing a broadcast with the in ALARA Prime and commenting the game and seeing the highest level of the game we've ever seen. A lot of different strategies, fun matchups, and so again, stay tuned for more tournaments like this. And we're gonna be sending it to and cancel this broadcast and prepare for the next one probably. So with that said, my name is Joachim. Was your host and commentator for the match, and Sebastian, you get the final word before I send it away.
Ooh, GG easy.
GG easy, and congratulations to Bootmonk for winning tournament. See ya in the next tournament. Follow the Discord or Twitter to get the latest updates on the game and also the latest updates on future tournaments. Thank you for watching.
Okay. Two guys coming main. Three guys coming main.
Securing the uplink.